What is up, everybody? I just realized I don't think I've done my FP summon today. 1 second. That's how you start a stream, by the way. Never mind, I'm a liar. Alright, so we got King Potato Chips unlocked. And so I'm kind of wondering, you can do the wanted quests here, and they're only 5 AP, which is really nice. But I get the feeling you can't keep the wanted quests and unlock the Beast Bitch fight. So I need to decide how I want to do this. Like, one of the accounts, I should leave all the wanted quests up. Like, don't beat any of them. That way we can redo them anytime we want, and that gives us... Most of them aren't that hard, but they're still really good, like, test dummies. So, like, they're like god-tier test dummies, because you get, like, every class, and they have a decent amount of health, and they actually have decent attack stats and stuff. And a few of them have gimmicks that are actually pretty good. Anyway, so I gotta figure out which account I want to unlock Beast Bitch on, you know, Kiara, and which account I want to keep all the wanted quests on. I'm not really sure. I feel like the wanted quests... you would mostly just use a single unit on. It's mostly for soloing and that kind of stuff. Rarely would you really want to do team stuff, other than like damage stacking. They would be good for damage stacking, because you get like every class to pick from. So, that leads me to think I should do it on my ult account, though. For solos, it's better on the ult account, because I can just summon my units from the main account. I only need one unit at a time. But for damage testing, I would rather have it on the main account. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the BB fight's nothing. Like, that's not so much of a fight, so I'm not gonna fuck about that one. So I kind of want to do... So I just did, like, that Billy setup. By the way, I did a setup. I don't know if I'll make a video of this or not. But I made a setup where I did a pretty not budget setup for Ku. But then I decided to not give... I didn't give him Black Grail. I just gave him Golden Sumo. And then I did, like, double Scatty... and then I had double Scatty and Mash stall. And you might think, how are you going to stall with double Scatty and Mash? Because Scatty takes a lot of damage there, and she's not as tanky as Merlin or anything. But I got Beastly to put on that Sunlight. Beastly put on that Sunlight Craft Essence that gives you a 3-hit evade, and I gave that to my own. And then before I had Mash come in, I had George with his Bond CE. So then George dies and gives the Scatties invulnerability. So now they have not been touched because I've been using taunts and stuff. So both Scatties have 3-hit of evade and 1 hit of invulnerability, and then Mash is there. And then by the time you get through the the million stacks of that they have, Mash is going, and then the Scatties can use their NPs, which gives everyone evade and damage cut, and then that CE has damage cut, so they just don't die. So you have Mash and double Scatty forever, and then on turn 22. When King Potato Salad is vulnerable, then you use the switch Mystic Code again, and you switch Ku back in, and then you have him get Scatty's buffs again, and yet he does like 5 million damage, and it's like, okay, well, that's that. But yeah, that was the thing. But what I want to do, I think, because I just did a thing with Billy, but Billy's not actually good for this because he's not counterclassing, or anything. That's why I use Black Grail, because Billy not so good for this. I'm kind of thinking I want to make, I want to do this fight. Like, what would you do if you were a pretty limited account, but you weren't trying to handicap yourself with support? I'm trying to think, what's the, like, if you were, all your options are shit for the most part, like, just limited stuff, or unlimited stuff, really, but, and, like, what's the, because most people aren't going to be able to summon a David, right? That's the thing. If you're like a no friends Andy, you don't have, you're not going to be able to ask somebody, hey, can you slot David, right? So I'm thinking, what can people actually summon? And that's Scatty, well, that won't be, no, that is on a name. That will be on a name. So Scatty, Merlin, Waver, those kinds of things. I'm trying to think, what's the thing you summon, and then what's the DPS you use? Now, on NA, I think everyone would have Jerker, because the Jerker event is right before the CCC rerun. So I've always said Jerker is like a DPS base that everyone has, but for the main interlude, that's not the case, right? Maybe they don't have Jerker. For the people playing right now, they don't have Jerker. So I kind of want to make Lu Bu work, because he's like the one DPS, NA, JP, doesn't matter. If Lu Bu can work, right, pretty much anybody can beat this, right? So I think we'll do Lu Bu, and I'm trying to think, That makes me think you would summon a friend's Merlin, because those are easy to find, and if you're using Lu Bu, yeah, a lot of people do that, and we'll use a fairly simplistic CE, I think. So what really matters here, though, is like how you would go about this stage, what's your best options, would vary so much based on what you have. Like, if you have Black Grail or Heaven's Feel or something, that really changes what the amount of DPS that can do this, but then you might need someone that gives empty battery more and stuff like that. All these highlighted messages, man. Knock it off! Alright, let's see. So I guess they're all scatty though. They're all scatty though! What the fuck? Maybe I have to do a scatty setup later because everybody slots scatty, dude. Like, it's so dumb. Like, you can't, ever since you got added, this is what the friends list always is. It's always fucking scatty. But I feel like if you were really desperate for a DPS, you would go with the Merlin, right? But I feel like most people, I think most people would have a DPS better than Lu Bu. That's the thing. I think okay, see, that's the first Merlin, and I was gonna summon one that did not have like a really good CE because most people won't have access to that. You would normally want a Merlin with like Prismilia or a defense up CE. But this was a fucking poster girl, which I don't know if that's good or not. It's probably bad. I'm wanting to summon one that just has a stupid fucking CE that does nothing, right? Like the Bond Up or something, because that's what most people have access to. Okay, that's fair. Ox King won't do a damn thing, because we won't use it on the turn we're doing damage. So that we basically have no CE here. That'll work. That'll work. I do feel like I'm still overly handicapping myself, because I really do feel like most people are going to have a DPS better than Lu Bu. Because most people are going to have Jerker, or they're going to have Beowulf, or they're going to have Kentucky, whatever. There's so many things. It's so easy to have a DPS here that's better than Lu Bu. But I feel like if Lu Bu can do it, I swear to God, you can do it anything. The only thing is, I really gotta stress this. Depending on what DPS you have, I think would change what CE you need to use, like a lot. Like if you're really pushing it on damage, you're gonna want to bring something like Heaven's Feel or Black Grail. And if you don't have a limit broken Black Grail, it's a regular Black Grail. But if you've got like a much stronger damage dealer that's gonna do like Jerker or whatever, you could get away with just a 50% starting NP thing. I want to see though if we can get away with a 50% starting NP on Lu Bu, because that's like the bare fucking minimum, right? If you're not even using Heaven's Feel or anything like that. I guess we could do the Arjuna CE, like because anyone can buy that with rare prisms, and that's a big damage boost. Although I guess some fucking schmuck out there is not gonna have it. What do you think, chat? What do we use? Do we use like the Jalter CE or Golden Sumo, Heaven's Feel, or the Arjuna one? Because Arjuna one I think would make it pretty easy. Like, yeah, pretty much anyone can have this, but some people won't. But this is a pretty reliable one. Because you don't even, because we have an MLB, but you don't need this MLB. You absolutely would not need this MLB. It's only a 5% damage difference. We'll only, okay, if we barely fucking kill it, I guess you could say maybe you need it, but, yeah, I guess Arjuna's pretty fair. Leg line, yo, fuck that. Okay, so when Lu Bu comes back in, you'll have the battery from, Merlin, that's his name, which means you don't really need that much NP charge. And this has starting NP actually, so this actually makes it really easy. I guess Shakespeare's a good pick because you want the first two people to die. Although you don't have to do it this way, you really don't. But I find this is an easy way to do it. By the way, I finally leveled my Merlin because what we were talking about last night, just so I can make buff stacking better. I did it for two reasons. I did it because everyone in his chat was like, you should do it for buff stacking reasons. And the other reason I did it was because it let me one turn this boss fight with Mori, which was completely worth it. Yeah, that was actually the main reason. I'm not sure I would have done it if it wasn't for that. But yeah, if you get lucky with Mori and you get his 2 Buster cards on the opening hand, and you do double Merlin Chin Gong, and you do, oh my god, you have to min-max like crazy. You have to use command codes and all this stuff. But yeah, he can one turn. You have to get really lucky though. You have to get like high roll, and you have to have those command codes. Although I don't actually have max. My Merlin's not max skills yet. And my Mori's not like quite as strong as it could be. And the CE was like level 20 or something, so there's a lot of things I could do to get more damage. I give it 100 bits lost. Okay, what's yeah, Shakespeare makes sense because you could survive when you're building up, and then you can just not use his invulnerability and let him die. And then I guess Hans. I think the one world where this might fail is if Hans doesn't land his attack buff, or just Hans dies way too fast. So the dream is you'd give Han starting NP, like I did in the video, because that lets you... The reason you do that is if you can use his NP as the first card bonus to give Lu Bu more NP if you needed that, or to Art Chain, right? It makes the odds of an Art Chain super high. I don't think Shakespeare really matters, his CE. We'll give him Ox King, but you probably won't need it. I don't think his CE would really matter. Okay, this is seriously as budget as you fucking get, right? Like, the Ox Kings don't really matter. The Merlin one won't even work. This is support Merlin, anyone can solo. CE's junk. I do think this probably won't have a 100% win rate, though. This is because Merlin can die kind of fast, and he doesn't have good CE. If you had a friend that had Merlin, right, you'd be like, yo, can you give him, like, a defense up CE, or Prism Ilia, or whatever, or Prism Cosmos, or whatever the fuck it's called, like, you do something like that. But we're going for, like, the poor bastards that don't have, like, fucking anything. Also, another thing is, let's say you didn't have a DPS better than Lu Bu, because, like, for real, I think there's a lot of people who are going to have DPS that are stronger than Lu Bu. If you didn't, you might also have a... I think you're either going to have a better DPS than Lu Bu here, or you're going to have a better support than Hans and Shakespeare. Like, a lot of people are going to have their own waiver, or they're going to have their own Merlin, or they're going to have something. Like, this is bare minimum. But if this works, you kind of see the template of like, okay, I can make my support stronger than Hans, or I can make my support stronger than this, right? So I feel like if this works, this is a pretty universal, like, structure for doing this, so... I mean, it's a 4-star CE. Also, I think you could do it if it wasn't MLB. So, but I don't keep non-MLB versions of 4-star CEs because like there's no point. Like it's too much inventory space. Like F that. There's a lot of ways to keep Merlin alive. Well, I'll show. When we get here, I'll show a lot of little things you can do to min-max Merlin, not just instantly dying. Like I think there's a chance Merlin could die. But I think. Well, we might, if we have time, we might do this multiple times. Unfortunately, this is a super long challenge quest when you do it this way, so it's kind of annoying for repeat viewers. But I think I could show off the philosophy of how to keep him alive pretty well. Okay, so I think the first few turns of this might be a little shaky, just because, you know, Lu Bu and everything. So I think we stun right off the bat. The sooner you stun, the sooner you get it back, and you're going to want to stun again later, because you're going to probably have a turn where it's like, oh shit, this is kind of wonky, one of my units doesn't have much protection, and then you could stun again. So the sooner you stun, sooner it comes back. So if we... I actually think it's bad if we were missing an art card, and the NP from Hans was the difference of getting an art chain or no art chain, you would NP to get Lu Bu the art chain, I think. Although Lu Bu only needs to get to 80% battery. He doesn't need to get to 100%. But I actually don't want to NP right now, just because I don't want the buffs to wear off or anything like that, just in case I have to stall longer than I'm thinking, which I don't think I will, but just in case. Actually, I just realized how little this matters. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. We're at 70%, right? And when the turn ends, Han gives us 10% battery, and on NA, you're going to have Hans's buff by now. He gets his 3rd skill buff before this comes to NA. So fuck it, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever the fuck you want with NP gain. It's irrelevant. Like we're already done. We already have enough. So, I think we Hans NP next turn. I mean, we can actually switch out Lu Bu next turn if we wanted to, but I think we'll be risky and we'll do it on the 3rd turn. Yeah, this shows though, like you really could do Black Grail or Heaven's Feel or something like that pretty easily. Because then you could use Hans's NP, like I said. So if you're like, man, I don't quite have enough damage, and especially if you're having to use something at neutral, and if you've got Heaven's Feel or Black Grail, that would really help bail you out here. Okay, so we don't want Shakespeare to die this turn, but we want him to die to the NP. This is the only turn that's shaky, because we need Hans to land the buff, and then we want Lu Bu to not instantly die here. And so you'd want him to land the defense buff. Now we could have switched, if we wanted to, we could switch right now. I could switch Lu Bu out and put in Mash right now. But I figure he could live 1 turn, right? I actually don't really know why I'm risking this, but well, I'm kind of risking it because I feel like we might not have had our NP by now, right? I think a lot of people wouldn't quite have their NP yet. So thank you for the resub, that Morks. Thank you, man, 4 months. Also, in case you don't have a starting in PCE, I kind of want to be like, have as much time for Lu Bu to get his NP as possible. This would be a little bit risky though, in case, yeah, in case Lu Bu dies, right? Okay, we switched now. We probably should have switched last turn, but, yeah, no. Alright, so before you send off Lubu, you want to give him Shakespeare's buff. You want to do the attack up, because the attack up from the Mystic Code will be back when you switch him back in, and he'll still have this buff. So, you know, get all the little damage you can get. Don't do Lubu's defense buff, though. You don't want, when he comes back, you don't want him to fail to get Merlin's buffs or something. So no reason to do that. That's another reason Jerker is better than Lubu. Because Jerker has that evade skill, so she gets the one-hit evade every turn. Like, if you have Jerker, she's definitely better than Lubu here. But I think, I haven't done this yet, but I'm pretty sure Lubu is good enough to make this work. Okay, so kind of sucks that MASH doesn't have an art card. Because this would be a really good turn to use her third skill and like her first skill. But I guess we just hope she doesn't. That's another turn where it's a little shaky. But once the boss is in, from next turn on, I think we're good. So this turn kind of sucks. The one outcome here that's horrible is if Nash just gets wrecked. It doesn't matter if she kills Shakespeare or Hans. It doesn't matter. You just don't want. This is like a one turn. You're not going to have any defense for Nash. And now, of course. That's not that bad. Like we can run that back. Now, normally you would not have David here. There's a good, well, I don't know about normally, but there's a good chance Hans would still be alive. And if that was the case, you would have Mash use her invulnerability on herself, and then let the other two die. And then if Mash has an art card, I would use her third skill. I actually might do that anyway. Although now I could, I think I'll do it just so. The thing is, this is really awkward because I kind of want to mimic the worst case scenario. But I can't really do that because in the worst case scenario, and if I use invulnerability already, it would be on a lower cooldown. So if this happened, you should save it to give it to like Merlin or something. So that's kind of awkward. So I guess. I guess we just don't use it then. That's probably the way to do this. So David is tanky as fuck here, by the way, because of his first skill. Like between his first skill and not being counterclassed and everything, he's just really tanky here, which is why he's so good for this. In a lot of ways, he's better than Merlin. Like I really think David is better than Merlin here. Aside from the only time Merlin is better is if like, oh hey, I need as much DPS as possible on my DPS unit. David's not going to cut it, so we want those bigger buffs from Merlin, right? But the thing is, David can NP with your DPS unit. He'll do his little rock throw, and that's kind of like being buffed more. So really, if you have access to double David, I actually think it's better than David Merlin. I'm doing David Merlin, though, because I think most people don't have access to double David, so. Do I taunt for the NP gain? That really makes me want to use her invulnerability, though. Then you save the evade. But then Merlin's a little bit more at risk. Yeah, you win at turn 22. The goal here. I'm gonna. I want to use that third skill though, because you want to get her NP. You need to have her NP by turn 7, because turn 7 is when that's the hardest part of the fight. Turn 7 to like turn 12 or something, when you have the defense down. That's the whole fight. That's literally the whole fight. And if you can weather that, you're good. And if you can't, you're fucked. Alright, fine, we'll do this. This kind of mimics the worst case scenario if you had to use it earlier. Like I said, it does kind of mess up the cooldown, but yeah, we'll do it this way. By the way, I know this from just playing similar setups to this. If David comes in after the NP, which I would say is overwhelmingly what's going to happen, normally David comes in right after this turn, you should use his evade right away, even though the boss is not about to NP. And that's the only time you should ever do that. From that point on, if you're doing double David or David Merlin, from that point on, you should only use David's invulnerability on an NP turn. But the first one, you can do it before that, because you're going to have those turns where she's building up, and then the other unit will do their evade or invulnerability, and then that your first David's will be off cooldown, and then you can start rotating. So the first one, you can like do it to just mitigate normal card damage. I just realized I saved Shakespeare. That's a really good reason, a really good example of what I just realized why you don't want David coming in early. I never even thought of that. That's actually bad. I guess it's not that bad, but it's not great. I guess we just wait and hope he dies. I mean, he won't last, if we're not trying to protect him, he shouldn't last that long. But that's not ideal. That's because, yeah, there's a lot of reasons that's not ideal. Because of that, I should not have used Mash's third skill. Like, no way. Because now I'm just going to be sitting here, like, waiting a bit. Because if I used it, then Shakespeare could live an ungodly amount of time, which you don't want. Please kill Shakespeare. She's not doing that much damage there. Could you like crit Shakespeare? Buster crit Shakespeare. Come on. No. Work with me. Actually, I think I was supposed to NP that turn because I think this is when she does the defense down, and that's when it starts to really matter. Okay, no, it's next turn. Okay, thank God Shakespeare's gone. Okay. Now. We're going to get the defense down now, and this is where shit hits the fan. So, you want to use Merlin's Buster on himself for the extra health. You want to make sure you don't do that, though, when you're getting close to turn 22, because you're going to want to give it to Lu Bu. Unless you're using a much stronger DPS, and they're not going to need the damage up. But yeah, you're going to want that extra health. I feel like you might as well. The biggest risk here really is Merlin just dying, and that's why I think Double David is better. But I want to see if we can make Merlin work. It's weird that David is better than Merlin here. I really think he is, because his NP does damage, he does give you an attack up to a DPS unit, and that kind of makes up for Merlin's buffs. Not quite, but close, and then David is definitely better for surviving here. But I think we can make Merlin work here if we really min-max. This turn is going to be really shaky, though. And, of course, she's going right for the Dick Wizard there. One good thing about Merlin, though, is he does do crit down. That is certainly good. Again, use this for the battery, but once you're getting close to turn 22, don't do that, because you're going to want it for Lu Bu. Again, unless your DPS is much stronger than Lu Bu, then you don't have to worry about it. I mean, Merlin won't necessarily die super fast compared to David. It depends on like how things go and like what setup you have, because you can do a lot. You can give him his health boost. You've got, you know, managing Mash well. You can have Mash give Merlin the invulnerability shield on random turns and stuff like that. All that will add up to being decently. And also, if you can manipulate the Merlin and like you can tell your friend, hey, can you give him a CE? Because we're using a CE that does literally nothing, right? If you give him like a defense up or a damage cut or something like that, it's gonna really help. Okay, part of me wants to not use Mash's first skill because we don't really need it yet. I think I'll wait one turn because we have Merlin's NP. It kind of depends. If this was double David, I would say, hi Cairo, how are you doing? Thank you for the 31-month resub. By the way, Talks beat you by a little bit. If this was like I said, double David, you would not use Mash's first skill. But because we're using Merlin and he's more squishy, you might. I think we could get without. We have the crit down. I think we could wait one turn. Do we really need to wait one turn, though? I guess we use it. I don't know. I'm not really used to using Merlin here, so I don't know. Now, we could have David NP to overcharge Mashes, but we don't have it, so there's no point. Because overcharging Merlin's is more crit stars, which is not a big deal. So yeah, we probably didn't need to do that first skill. I don't think it, unless she like double busters Merlin, I don't think it would really be worth it. Do you mean why couldn't? I actually don't remember what their order of the banners were, Fury, but I'm assuming you meant why couldn't. Like, I'm guessing you want both of them. But it's because, you know, they gotta min-max those profits. Okay, because she's smacking Merlin, that was worth it. Look at David over there, man. And then David gets that first skill, right, which makes him even tankier, and then like a little bit of heal and all that stuff. Now we could have Mash Taunt. That's a way to keep Merlin safe. The only reason I'm kind of like, I don't want to do that is because she doesn't need the NP gain. I guess we'll see. Depends on how fragile Merlin is. Merlin's gonna get healed again. I feel like we don't need to do that. Like, it's just a waste. It's a waste to use the third skill if you don't really need the NP game. But though, if it's the difference between Merlin living or dying, it probably is worth it, so I don't know. Although, she's getting fucked up. Okay, that's a bit shaky there. Alright, so we can get pretty tanky here. Question is, do I give Merlin the invulnerability? This is the turn we get our NP, so we're way tankier this turn. So I like how David's not getting attacked. Mash should be totally fine once she gets her NP. We're almost through the defense down phase. Like I said, once you get through the defense down phase, you're good. As long as you can get through that and like stabilize for like one turn, you're fine. The whole fight is pretty much the defense down part. And then if you play this right, she's never going to do the defense down again. Because it's not random. She does it at set times. And you get to turn 22 before she would ever do it again. So you could have... This is a turn where you could have Mash taunt and invulnerability. But it's nice to save the invulnerability. If I was like... If Mash didn't have her NP right now, I would taunt and do invulnerability to give her her NP. And then she's completely safe. But I'm really wanting to save that invulnerability for Merlin. I guess we just give it to Merlin. I'm just worried Mash is gonna die here. Like I think with the damage cut she's safe. But I'm a little worried. Merlin's eating some busters. He's eating some busters. I'm definitely liking Double David more though than David Merlin because you get that little heal. David is way tankier. And I don't think Merlin's even, it's just not necessary. I don't think you're gonna need the damage. I mean, Lu Bu might need the damage, but we'll see. David getting crit there. Thankfully, David's a tanky boy. Finally, she hits David. I'm actually happy for that because David has got like no problem surviving here. All right, we're almost through the defense down. Now you could have Mash taunt. One, she will get attacked twice. She'll get healed. If she had a little bit more health, I would definitely do it. This is iffy. She'll get double healed. I think she can do it? Question mark? I guess it'd be awesome if we got our NP right here again. I just don't want Mash to randomly die. I'll do it. This is kind of risky, but we're almost through the defense down phase. Well, if Mash dies, we know this was a mistake, so we'll see. Yeah, Joan of Arc needs a long time to solo this. Takes a while. Because isn't it after turn 22 she starts deactivating the health every 5 turns instead of 20 turns or something? Because yeah, then you start, every time she deactivates the shields, basically, she starts taking more and more damage. And so after she's deactivated them several times, a normal card can one-shot her, which is ridiculous. That's also another way to win, is if you have better stall, you just go for the second. Wow. Really? I am so surprised she did that much damage. I know I didn't have that much defense up there. Okay, so we fucked that one up. Should not have done that. Well, real quick, before we reset here, that's unfortunate, man. But I want to see how much damage we do. He'll do way more damage because when her health is down, you get a huge damage boost. But I kind of want to see. I want to ballpark Lu Bu here. What's he looking at? He doesn't have to be able to one-shot because what do you call it? David will NP as well. But I kind of want to know where he's at damage-wise. But like I said, it's going to be a lot more damage in this because she'll have her lower health. I think that'll be enough. We'll also have the attack up from DMC again. Alright, let's try this again. I'm really surprised though she took that much damage. Like, I didn't think she'd take that much. I know we still have the defense down, but also remember it's not really worth doing unless you have invulnerability until you're through the defense down. Dude, it is funny to me though that David is better than Merlin here, but I kind of knew he was, and I even mentioned that in the tier list video. I remember a lot of people were mad, and they're like, David's not better than Merlin ever. I remember the guy was like, if David needs to be on the right team to be better than Merlin, that doesn't really make him better because he's relying on the team. I'm like, but Merlin and David are both supports. Now see, that's cheating. See, that Merlin is objectively better. Like, that's what you would want. Like that, but we want to not do that because we're trying to mimic somebody that is just in the worst situation ever, right? And can't get double David. Can't ask somebody to put a better Merlin CE on, but I don't know if I don't have a choice because I don't know if we have any other Merlins. I don't think we do. But Nash was actually the one that got wrecked there, but that was kind of my fault for taunting when I wasn't sure if I should or not. Yes, you can kill her with normal cards if you solo enough. There's just no reason to. It's pretty easy to kill her on turn 22 because, like, I could not be handicapping myself harder right now. Like, this is ridiculous. You are going to have better options than this. It's really simple to kill her on turn 22. Okay, let's see. That really was annoying that Shakespeare lived. Yeah, I just keep forgetting. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. I should really just NP with Hans right away because you already have enough NP gain. As long as Merlin's got his first skill, you're already good to go. But again, just in case you don't have starting NP, we'll do it. You would I'm sure there's better budget. Now in JP, Qin Gong would be better than Hans. Way more damage. He also has the 10% battery. And you don't have the 80% you know, RNG with the attack buff. I'm going with Hans though, just because in A, when this first comes out, it won't have Qin Gong. So yeah, if you miss the attack buff, you probably just reset because this thing's only 5 AP. So, and I mean, like, if you're using a better DPS though, you probably don't need it. I mean, I don't know. Lu Bu might not need it either. We're just gonna have to see. Wait. Oh god, I almost misplayed really hard there. We're supposed to buff. I guess Lu Bu's Star Absorb skill right there is actually kind of nice. I shouldn't cast that. That's a mistake. I shouldn't cast that. I should cast that on the turn. Because there's no reason to give Hans a defense down. There's just no reason to give Hans a defense down. Anyway, it's nice to have that Star Absorb skill in case Merlin had made some stars from his NP, and maybe you get a crit on the turn that it matters. That's kind of nice. I mean, I would truly hope that most people have a friend that can slot David for them. And if they don't, my condolences. Although then there, you know, you have Joan of Arc. You know, Joan of Arc's not that hard to find, I would hope. So you could also go with that. Like David, Joan of Arc, Nash. That would definitely work. Although at that point your DPS would need to be stronger though. You would need to use a stronger DPS or a stronger CE like Black Grail or some nonsense. I guess you could do Iris Veil. I wouldn't want to do Iris Veil for this fight. The way this fight works, I wouldn't want to do that. I don't like this turn right here, and this is why I liked Alexander, because Alexander has 100% charm, and that covers this turn. You can charm and stun, so you don't have this turn. Because I don't really want to use Mash's first skill, because I don't really want to protect these two. But I don't want Mash to just get, you know, foobarred, and I don't want to use her second skill until the next turn. So this turn kind of sucks. So Alexander, like if you're doing a quick setup, Alexander's really nice being able to get rid of that turn. Okay, so that means David comes in early again. which I really don't like, and I really should not be using Lubu's third skill because it increases the chance of this happening. I really don't like one of them dying just because, and again, that's why Alexander's better. You completely remove that RNG. I'm really happy with that Alexander Han setup at the beginning. That worked really well. But yeah, Shakespeare's a bit shakier, if you will. Because yeah, I don't like saving one of the people you're trying to get rid of. I don't like that. Wow, and Mash does not have an art card between either of those turns. That makes me less willing to use her taunt. But I kind of have to. That really sucks. Wow, that really sucks. I almost want to get rid of Shakespeare because of this. The odds of this happening, I don't know if they're that high, but I probably should have used Mash's second skill anyway, and just not use the taunt. That's probably what I should have done. Oh, I'm learning. No, I don't need David. Guys, I swear to God, I have no problem beating this stage. I've already done double David like a million times, and I can slot David myself. That is not the problem. I'm trying to see how you do this for somebody that does not have access to double David. Like, that's the whole point of this. I swear to God. Like, how am I not going to be able to summon David? Of course I can summon David. Okay, let's see. This, I gotta say, this is probably the worst luck humanly possible. We had David come in early. Mash still hasn't gotten an art card because people are dying in turns that they normally don't die, and so the deck just keeps shuffling and it just keeps not giving Mash an art card. So I can't use her third skill. That is ridiculously bad. This is so much easier though with double David. Like, it's so much fucking easier. But you can absolutely do this with Merlin. I just need to. Really, I don't think once you get going, I think there's not that much RNG. I think the RNG with this setup is those first few turns, and it's just there's a lot of wonkiness that can happen there. Dude, how do I not have a Mash art card? Like, what the fuck? I'm just restarting. That's ridiculous. Like, we've had Mash out for like what, 5 turns, and we've never had a Mash art card. That is insane. Yeah, I think a lot of people are joining the stream and they didn't get the explanation of what we're doing at the start, and so they don't understand, and they think I'm like struggling with this, or we're trying to like you know, do some damage scaling thing with Merlin or something. That's not what we're doing at all right now. I should have made this a video. I should have made this a YouTube video and actually, you know, explain. That way people can't miss the context, because it's gonna be fucking annoying otherwise. I really think you cut Shakespeare from this though. I'm not liking Shakespeare at all. Like, because one of them dying early makes the other one die late, which is really weird, but because of the way David works, this is what happens, and I really don't like that. That's why I think a quick DPS is really nice, because you can use Alex. Because Alex is a good buffer, and you get the stun. Like, if you have, like, a Talente Alter or something like that, you would use that over Lubu anyway, and then that would help a lot. And you would summon, like, a Scatty instead of Merlin. Or David. Preferably David. I think you art chain with Hans. See if you get Hans's. I forgot to do Shakespeare's third skill. Doesn't really matter, but and I forgot to do Hans's third skill, which that does matter. Because I could have enough NP to do what we need to do right now, but I'm 1 turn behind now. Whoops. I guess you just Hans NP to help keep Lubu safe. But yeah, really, what kind of team you should do? Like, if you have Atalante, you do Alexander instead, and then you could do double David, no problem. But then if you don't have double David, you could do Scatty, but that would be harder than Merlin, I think. Yeah, there's so many variables, though. It's impossible to make a universal guide, though, because it's like someone's gonna have like Heaven's Feel instead, right? And that changes your options so much. Or somebody's gonna. That's so fucking lame. Yeah, I really like Alexander, man. Like, I didn't even realize that when I was doing it earlier, but the fact that you have no RNG at the beginning because of him is really nice. I will say that actually, if that's gonna happen, it's kind of good that it happened like that because we actually get an extra buff out of it. I don't think we need the extra buff. I don't think Lu Bu is gonna be short on damage. I mean, maybe he is. I haven't tested him yet, but the one good thing about that is, yeah, you can get David's buff twice, essentially. So that's kind of a good thing, but it still makes it still does the whole David thing where Shakespeare's gonna live where we don't want him to. Like, we want him to die to the NP. I guess you just don't use Shakespeare's second skill, and you hope maybe Shakespeare dies here. Shadow's not having Mash's art card again. The first turn is likely though, because you're doing the switch Mystico to Lu Bu, and Lu Bu only has one art card, so. Because the only thing I don't like about the whole Alexander setup is I think a lot of people would not have a DPS that would actually work with Alexander, and that's why I'm trying to do it without him. But it's the stun charm helps so much. I mean, there's literally no reason to ever face tank DNP with David's first skill. You should never do that. If you're doing that, you're doing something wrong. Like 100% you're doing something wrong. Trying to think if it's better for Mash to use her first skill. I just don't want Mash to, I guess you just have Mash do this, and then if David gets smacked, you do his first skill, and if Shakespeare gets smacked, you don't care. Normally, you would not use Mash's second skill like that, because David wouldn't be here, and you'd need it to survive the NP, but because David is here, we don't need it. That was really unfortunate. Thankfully, David is the most capable of recovering from that. That's why you want to taunt. Like, that's the thing, you want to be able to taunt with Mash when you do her second skill. But, we just keep not getting our art cards, so. I am hating not having Alexander, though. Like, I'm really not liking that. Like, it's making me not be able to use Mash's first skill, and that's making it super hard to stabilize. Guess you could easily do this with Gil's DPS. Like, if Billy can do it, a fucking Course Gilgamesh can. There's really no reason to use Gil, but, man, this sucks. I'm really this makes me, like, I'm trying to think if there's a quick DPS that anybody could use instead of Lu Bu, because Alexander is so much better. The only thing is, like, I think no one levels Alexander. Fucking no one levels Alexander, so I don't really want to have a team that uses him. But I cannot believe how much worse this is, because we can't, like, we're having someone either die early or die late. Like, I can't believe how much harder that's making this. Alexander guarantees everybody dies to the NP. You just, Mash comes in, Mash protects herself, you just let the other two die. So much better. But not being able to do that is fucking terrible. Like, this is really sucking. Because I can't use Mash's first skill for so many turns. Let me look at this and see if I can make it better. Ushi might be able to do it. It would depend on how good the person's Ushi was. I'm really hating using Merlin though, not because like he is worse than David, because everyone thinks I'm needing Merlin, which I don't. I'm literally trying to show off how to do this without double David. The big problem is I'm trying to find a way to make sure Hans and Shakespeare die to the NP. Like someone dying early is making this so shitty. If you have Gintoki, what you would do is you would give him like Heaven's Feel or Black Grail or something, and then you wouldn't need any NP gain help, and then you could focus on like more reasonable supports. So Hans is kind of the least useful thing here, honestly. Like Chen would be really helpful because of the defense up, but Chen again, Chen doesn't exist on NA, so I don't want to use Chen. But Chen would be a lot more helpful because you have the taunt and the damage cut and all that. You just use a taunt. Fuck it. I'm gonna do Leonidas. Jesus Christ, most people level him. I think that'll help a lot. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. Because Hans, it's not like Hans is actually adding that much damage. The only thing I don't like about Leonidas is the art stuff is kind of wonky. What CE would you give him? So he needs to die to the NP, but not before that. I don't think it really matters. Like, you could give him starting NP if you want to get his NP. I guess go with Jeweled Sword. I think a lot of people have Jeweled Sword, I guess. So I guess that's fair. If you had a better one, though, you'd want to do something like, you know, Demonic. You know, something like that, some kind of side effect that gives them more defense and things like that. I feel like this is pretty budget friendly. I think this fixes the problem. It hurts our NP gain, but I don't. If you're using Merlin, I don't think the NP gain would be an issue. Yeah, just about anything can be the main DPS here. What determines what your DPS is down to what CEs you have, almost entirely. Right, like if you have fucking trash CEs, then you're going to need a more quote-unquote efficient DPS, or maybe a Berserker, because Berserkers do, you know, the higher damage here. But I mean, you can make almost anything work as a DPS here, like depending on what CEs you have. Like that's it. Like it's really complicated to explain to people how they should go about this because it's so specific to what you have. But I think it doesn't matter what you have. That's the thing. It's like it doesn't. If you don't have this option, you're going to have that option. Like there's so many unrare things that will work here. I think every fucking account is going to be able to do this on NA that like isn't like a 2-week-old account. It's just all the setups are going to be like really different based on what they have. Okay. So you need to get 10 NP gain on Lubu, and that's actually harder now because we don't have Hans. That's like the only thing that's going to be like a problem here. So almost every single Lubu card that matters is in the third hand. So that's great. I think you try to face tank one turn and then you taunt on the next one. Because you can guarantee Shakespeare doesn't die here. The only thing that's risky about this is Lubu could die. Like normally I wouldn't do this. You should probably taunt, but I want to see. Because if Lubu doesn't die this turn, you're scot-free. I'm pretty sure. Hey Jenical, thank you for the resub, man. What's up? 13 months. Really? Yeah, you're gonna have to taunt then. Yeah, I'm trying to find the least RNG beginning humanly possible. I think it is going to be Leonidas. You just really don't want to have to wait until the third turn, because then Ox King doesn't do anything, although I think Ox King is probably not going to do anything anyway. I'm going to use Imaginary Element. I feel like that's fair. Even if you don't have an MLB one, I think it would work. George doesn't have a Buster buff, that's why. Also, George is a writer, and so George would die in 2 seconds. Like, George is literally worse in every way. Okay, we're good now. We're gonna. I think we are gonna lose. No, we won't. I don't think we'll lose Augustine. We'll still have it. I'm a little worried Leonidas will be too tanky here. If that's the case, you would not use his guts. The reason I cast guts is like, what if she double busts her crit, right? But I am kind of worried that Leonidas is too tanky. So far, though, this seems a lot more reliable. Am I forgetting something? No. Yes. That really adds up, because you getting the Mystic Code buff twice, you know, that's decently significant here. I do like this though, because now Mash doesn't have that weird, what am I supposed to do here moment, right? You can just taunt again. Like I said, my one fear here is what if Leonidas lives too long? I think it'll be okay though. I think this works. I'm really happy that I thought of this, because I think this should work a lot better for this start. Unless I'm overlooking something. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, we're good now. Like, we're super good. And we don't have MP gain on Mash, but I kind of want to use our third skill anyway. Like, just fuck it. Like, just get what you can get. Because you don't need it until turn 7. So I think you do this. I don't know, though. Merlin's not on the field. Yeah, you probably don't do that. Because if Merlin's not on the field, you're not protecting anything that matters. By the way, you can do a very different free-to-play setup that focuses on Leonidas surviving. That's kind of what the 1 to 2 star guide did. It's actually pretty easy to have Leonidas just keep living and keep NPing, because she actually has a decently high hit count. And so if his teammates are going to help him some, like maybe you got Hans feeding him NP or a Waver or something strong like that, it's pretty reliable to keep Leonidas alive for a long time. You don't have to keep him alive for all 22 turns. You just need to keep him alive for a nice chunk, and you can definitely do that. That's a completely different style of team setup than we're doing, and I might experiment with that later. But that is another option for doing this. Because if he's taunting all the time, if you do have casters like Hans or Merlin or whatever, they're way safer now because, you know, that he's taunting and stuff. And keeping him alive is fairly easy. Okay, so this is like I much prefer Leonidas here though. Oh my god, that was so much better. And so we do cast, I think we cast Merlin's skill. Merlin will get his thing back in time. So I think we cast Merlin's just to get the crit down. Although David's is a lower cooldown, so maybe I should have done David's actually. Like the first turn is the only time you ever do one of their middle skills when there's not an NP about to hit you. This is the only time you would do that. And maybe you're supposed to do David's, not Merlin's. I'm actually not sure. We'll see how it all works out. I kind of want to just use. I kind of want to use Merlin's first skill. I think Mash can get her MP without it though. But it'd be nice to use it and get on cooldown. I'll save it. I love this song, by the way. Dude, that would be so strong, Fury. Like, if they made a servant that could manipulate order in, like, any way like that, that would be so strong. And that's kind of what Qin Gong is, but Qin Gong, obviously, there's a price to be paid. So it's not quite the same. But yeah, if they ever made a servant that had some kind of skill like that, that would be really interesting. Okay, so now we're in Operation Keep Merlin the fuck alive. Do you use Mash's first skill? I think you wait at least one turn to do that. Do Mash's... no. Part of me is thinking of doing double Merlin, but we'll start getting Mash and P again. Okay, there's two ways to beat this. You either stall to turn 22, and then the switch mystic code will be off cooldown again, so you bring your DPS back and you one-shot her. Or you stall really long until she's so weak that you just murder her. Or if you're Omega Whale, you can one-shot her on turn 1 before she starts stacking health. But that's really only possible if you have, like, I mean, just you need like double Merlin, really. You need to have like double Merlin or double Scatty for that to even be viable. There's a few DPS though that can kill her on turn 1. I was pretty happy Mori could, but Mori has to be 100, 2k foe, all that nonsense, command codes. Like, almost no one's gonna have access to that. Okay, this is turn 7, so this is when shit hits the fan, right? This is, like I said, this is the hardest part of the fight. If you can get through the defense down part, you're good to go. But if you're gonna get wrecked, this is the part where it's gonna happen, and turn 7 is when she activates it. I'm trying to think if we use Smash's first skill or not. I think I want to wait one turn because then we use David's skill, then we use Smash's first skill. Also, I'm not used to using Merlin here, and I need to kind of figure out how much help does he need. Like, how much do we need to babysit him? So we got his health boost right now, so that's why I'm thinking we don't use Smash's first skill, but this could be a mistake. But live and learn. Yeah, that defense down is what will get you fucking destroyed. Thankfully, Merlin has crit down. Okay, so that was bad. That was not ideal. Yeah, it's funny that I'm using Merlin, but it's because, like I said, most people that are trying to do this will not have double David. So I'm trying to make this work. Because I think overwhelmingly people are gonna be able to summon a Merlin from their friend more so than they're going to be able to summon a David from their friend. So I want to find a setup that works, like a really free-to-play friendly setup that works, that involves Merlin. Because everyone would say double David is more free-to-play friendly, but it's actually not. I mean, it's kind of tied, I would say. Because, yeah, David is a more free-to-play unit, but who the fuck has a friend that slots David, right? So but everyone has a friend that slots Merlin. So it's like having a support Merlin is more applicable to what people generally have to deal with. Okay, I think we double up now. Yeah, seriously, if you're trying to do, you don't have options for days, and someone does have a David, I would absolutely go with David. I don't know if people want the double David setup is so much more reliable, especially now that I've figured it out better since last year. But I don't know if anyone wants me to cover that, but I think most people know how that works because it's been done a few times now. One good thing about Merlin though is Merlin does make MASH more stable, which is actually good. MASH is pretty stable with command codes though. I didn't even give her like the really good heal ones because the really good heal one doesn't exist on NA when this fight comes out, so that's why I didn't go with it. But if you did give her the 1k heal one, that would be enough, I think, to stabilize her. This is a turn where I wish MASH had her art card, but no go on that one. I don't know though. I am starting to lean towards, if you are having to rely on a Merlin, you might want to go with Leonidas instead, like the whole taunt way. But I'm not sure. Now, I could taunt right now, which is really nice. I'm kind of iffy on taunting, though, because it's great because MASH will get her NP right away, all that stuff. But Merlin doesn't really need the protection right now because he's got damage cut and defense up. So I'm like, does he really need it? I don't know, maybe he does. I'm not super familiar with Merlin here. So that makes me think maybe I can wait. But if I do her taunt, well, I got her NP. And if I have her NP, that'll cover Merlin even more, so I won't need the taunt. And then Merlin is about to do his invulnerability to block the NP. So I guess we do taunt now then. Because that way this stuff goes on cooldown and I can use it again, right? I think that's correct. It's kind of overkill because we actually have a lot of defense right now, and then we're using invulnerability, which is kind of like, we don't really need that. But I think this is right. No, she doesn't have Threat to Humanity. You can still use Enkidu, no problem here. But no, she doesn't have Threat to Humanity. It'd be hilarious if she did. It'd be so easy to take her out. Hey, Infinity Biscuit, thank you for the raid, man. We are looking at like how you would beat this stage if you were the most scuffed account on the fucking planet. And you did not have a friend that could give you a support David. This is why we're using a support Merlin, because everybody has a support Merlin, and then everything else on the team is fucking trash. I guess you just stall here. Yeah, there's no reason to use any of your skills. You just wait. Dude, that adding Leonidas to this team at the start though helps so fucking much. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, just having that smooth entrance where we didn't have to waste stuff earlier, like that was so much better. We're almost through the defense down phase, and like I said, once you get through the defense down phase, you're good. Like, you're totally good. Unless you just get like crazy unlucky or you fuck up. The big question is, because we haven't tested this yet, is Lu Bu good enough, right? Like because we have Lu Bu without Heaven's Feel and out no Black Grail, nothing like that. So that's the question: is if Lu Bu will do enough damage, which I think he will. But that's the main thing we haven't actually figured out yet. Okay, so. We can use Merlin's third skill because it will come back before turn 22. It'll still come back before turn. This is the last time we can use Merlin's. That's the last time we can use Merlin's third skill. If we use it again, we would not have it for Lu Bu. We could use David's NP to overcharge Mash. Is that good enough? I could also get Mash to 200% if I wanted to. I think it's, yeah, I guess we do this. I was wanting to use that net after this turn, but I think that's worth it. We can get a maximum NP out of Mash here, that's kind of fun. That's kind of good because we don't have any other form of damage mitigation here, so. How important is the CE choice on Mash and David? I mean, first of all, I have to ask, why do you not have Kirei abs? Like, it's a 4-star CE, right? And this isn't even out yet on NA. It's like, have you been burning it? Because if you've been burning it, I have to give you a tisk tisk. It's pretty important. But if you don't have it, you could use the 3-star equivalent of it if you've MLB'd it. But I have a feeling if you don't have Kirei abs, you probably have not been keeping your 3-star defense up. But there's a 3-star defense up CE that if you MLB it, is fairly comparable. However, there's all kinds of other things. There's a lot of rarer CEs you could use that are actually better. Like, you could use the Caneth one, that would help you stabilize as well. Basically, just give them something that mitigates damage, right? If you don't have defense up, give them guts. If you don't have guts, give them invulnerability. If you don't have invulnerability, give them something, right? The defense up I like the most because it stacks with everything else that you're doing, and that works out the best. It does not need to be MLB now. Like, if you just have a regular one, that's fine. I think a lot of people burn it, though. It's so easy to get an MLB ab CE, like, you've been playing a long time. And obviously this fight's not even out yet on NA. But yeah, if you don't have the Kirei abs CE, go with the Azure Dagger or whatever it's called. Like, that one also, if you MLB that one, it's a 3-star CE. That one gives you a decent defense up. But if you don't have either of those, if you Azov, that's it. If you have no defense up CE whatsoever, and you have no damage cut CE whatsoever, go with a guts CE, because that'll still buy you a turn. Generally, it's not. I don't think it's nearly as good. The idea is not to get that low on health, but that will still help. Just do the best CE you've got that makes them tankier. And if you have nothing to make them tankier, go for NP gain. Because if Mash is better NP gain, that's more NPs, and that's more survivability, and that could actually be better, right? Like, Prism Cosmos or Art Up or whatever. So it's either the best defense you got or the best MP gain you got, and then guts. Prism Cosmos and Merlin would actually be very, very, very good. Okay, what are we doing here? I think we could wait one turn to use Mash's first skill because she's got the bigger defense up than normal. I think we could wait one turn. Oh, we have, it's something to keep track of. We have stun back, and that's important. If you've got a turn, you're like, oh, I don't like this turn, I'm kind of vulnerable, I don't really have any good options, then use the stun. If you're like, I don't know what to do this turn, I'm feeling this is kind of bad, then use the stun. But I'm not going to use it here. I think this turn is okay. I know it's a little shaky. I'm a bit tempted to do Mash's first skill, but I'd like to wait one turn. It's a good starting star CE. Yeah, Carp, Golden Carp is like the best one generally. But there's also the Martha one, which is from Summer 3, and I think NA's about to get Summer 3. That one's good too. There's also one from I think the Halloween event that was like Dyrmid and Fionn. That one's not as good, but it's a lower team cost, so that's kind of nice. But it's a 4-star one. Okay, now we definitely do our first skill. Mash kind of got fucked up there, which kind of sucked. But she'll killed. I will say that's the one thing I like about Merlin over David. I really think David is better here. But the one thing is nice that Merlin does give you healing. So you can kind of, if you had like a one bad turn and you kind of fell behind a bit, that kind of lets you catch up there. So that's kind of nice. Other than that though, I really do prefer David. Especially if you've got command codes. Let's get just a little bit of healing on them. Because the Nash can kind of stabilize through those, and then, you know, David does the... Okay, there we go. There it is. The defense down is gone. That fight is so much easier now. Like, you can still have a bad turn where you fuck up, but you just take so much less damage from this point on. Like, the fight is so much easier now. Like, that is the fight. It's just getting... A lot of people think, oh, I gotta make it all the way to turn 22. You really don't. You just gotta... I guess it's turn 16. You just gotta make it to turn 16, and as long as you're not, like, already dead in the water... You're pretty set now. Like, now you're pretty much good. You still gotta be a little bit careful and you want to still be using your value properly. But by the time you get to this point, you probably have your stun back. I'd actually say I should have used my stun. That's how big of a deal that defense down phase is. Using that stun that I have on my Mystico, just using that to make the stun phase one turn shorter, I probably should have done that. Because, like I said, the whole fight is pretty much that stun phase. But now, I've got it now, so if something goes really bad, I still got it, so... Yeah, I don't know what the exact numbers on that defense down is. I just know in practicality, when you have it, you start getting your ass kicked. And then when you don't, it's not so bad. Like, that's kind of what it boils down to. Like, you still need to play well when you don't have the defense. But look at that. Merlin is being counterclassed, and you couldn't even see the damage he just took, right? It's like nothing. But you still want to play well. Like, you still need to be timing your stuff. I don't know if we need to mash NP here or not. I guess we do. There's no really reason not to. Can we taunt with mash, though? Now that mash doesn't have the thing, is it safe to taunt with mash here? You could taunt with mash and stun to be super safe. I don't know if we need to be that safe. I don't really know. We don't have the defense down anymore. We have one defense up from the past. We're going to get healed. We're going to get our thing. I would think she would be fine. The only reason she wouldn't be fine is if the boss was like, I'm going to triple crit you now, right? That would be the one way that I wouldn't be so happy. But it would be nice to taunt and then stun, right? Then we're pretty much set. But I don't know, it's a little shaky. I feel like I'm going to stun. And the reason I'm going to stun is because Mash's second skill is about to come back. So I don't really feel like I need to push it. I am losing value this way. This is lowering my total value a bit, but I think it's all right. Oh yeah, the Mysticode's bugged on NA. You are gonna have to deal with that in this fight if they don't fix it by then. You got a little while before this fight comes to NA, but that's true. I can't fix that, chat. There's nothing I can do, but you know I'm doing a lot here to make a fucking stupid setup with fucking terrible options work. I can't account for also then that your Mysticode might fail, right? That's NA, man. That's all on NA. So yeah, actually, she would normally get more MP gain than that. She would normally get way more MP gain than that. The reason she didn't is because she has this debuff. Once the defense down is gone, you get this MP gain debuff, which is kind of annoying, but generally you're so close to being finished that it's okay. So I can give the invulnerability to Merlin if I feel like he needs it. We cannot use Merlin's health up on himself anymore. It's about to come back, but we gotta save it for Lubu. Does he need it? I'm thinking he doesn't. He should be able to take 1 or 2 hits right now. And then if he gets fucked up, then we use it. Because the thing is, if Mash dies on turn 21, it doesn't matter. You don't care if Mash dies on turn 21 because you were going to switch her out anyway. And then David basically can't die. David is so safe here, which has probably been obvious. David's not even using his first skill. Now, if David's been kind of lucky, he hasn't been hit too much. But if he had been getting hit more, we would just use David's first skill, right? And that would have really helped out. I don't think this quest is shitty at all. I actually think it's pretty fair and reasonable, and it's actually pretty easy ultimately, and it's kind of fun. And the only thing I don't like about it is I don't think I would have made you wait till turn 22. I probably would have made you wait till like turn like 18 or 17, just because it's a, you know, like I said, after the defense down phase, the rest of the turns don't even really matter. You're pretty much going to win unless something really bad happens, and it's just kind of boring. And so like I feel like after turn 17, that's probably where they should have let you just win the fight. Making you wait till turn 22 is kind of unnecessary. I'll wait one turn to use Mash the second skill. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't normally use Merlin here, so I'm not sure how susceptible he is to. We've been doing a good job of keeping him safe. He's gonna be getting attacked plenty. Like my god, Mash and Merlin I think been attacked the most. Okay, no, he's solo safe. Oh please, like that was nothing. Even if she had crit there, I wouldn't have cared. Do I even care to give him the invulnerability now? I mean, seriously, he's so tanky. I guess I do, just because the fight's almost over. Like, seriously, the fight's almost over. I might as well. And lets me in P again, so. Yeah, we're good. I don't think we can lose. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't make it too much shorter, because I think to kind of, you're supposed to go the distance. You're supposed to manage well, right? And you also, I think they kind of want you to have time to get your cooldowns back a second time and that kind of thing. That's all fine, but I think it's just a little too long. Like, it's just a little too long. And it's unreasonable to beat this quest on turn 1. Only whales, like super whales, can do that. So I just would have made her shields go down a little bit sooner. Because again, I wouldn't even make the fight easier. That's the thing. I don't think this fight would be easier if her shields went down sooner. Because, like I said, you'd still have to get through that defense down phase. And once I don't think a lot of people don't even realize how much easier the fight gets once the defense down is gone. Because they win a few turns later, and they thought, oh, these turns are kind of going well. Okay, look how safe we are now, though. Because like we've been taking like no damage ever since the defense down was gone. And we still have Mash's first skill. We have Mash's NP, and then we got the invulnerability. Like, I mean, we're omega safe here. Like I said, the second that defense down is gone, you're good. I would hope my viewers understand what I'm saying, though, about David, for a budget player, being better than Merlin here. I'd hope they understand that. I don't have to actually prove that, because I've actually already proved that so many times in the past, but I would hope people got that. Because even, the thing is, like, that's why I'm using Merlin. Everybody can summon to support Merlin. So it's like, and I will say, this is the part that actually matters is coming up. We actually don't know if Lu Bu is enough damage here. Okay, so this turn, you actually don't care if, like, Mash dies. You do still care if Merlin dies. I actually probably should have saved. No, actually, no, it doesn't. What am I saying? No one is going to die this turn. No way. We still have Merlin's heal. We have her first skill, and we have Mash's NP. King Potato Chips can triple crit here for all I care, and it is not going to matter. I'm actually going to make crit stars because Lu Bu has that star absorb skill. So in case Lu Bu happens to be a bit short on damage, which might happen, I don't know, we'll see. And if he is short on damage, getting like a buster crit or something like that would probably sure us up. I mean, she doesn't have ignore evade, so it doesn't really matter. Burning my Merlin. I don't know if I would suggest that. And if she did, they probably would have made this fight different. They probably would have changed the way the fight worked. Alright, shield's gone. Now this is the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth. Does Lu Bu have enough damage? We're not using Black Grail or anything crazy like that, so we'll see what I suspect he will. I suspect he will. Because also, don't sleep on David. That's another reason I like double David, because David NPs, both Davids will NP, and they'll actually do a pretty decent amount of damage. Now, this is pretty unlucky because we have no Lu Bu card. We have no Lu Bu card. Because honestly, if we do fall short a bit on damage, which I think may happen, I don't know, having a even if it doesn't crit, Lubu's Buster card would hit so fucking hard here because I mean, Jesus Christ, look at all the stuff he has. Looks like one Buster card from Lubu, which you're pretty likely to have here, would bail you out if you fall a bit short on damage. If you do fall short on damage here, though, like I said, that would you would want to use Jerker instead, or you'd want to use a better CE. There's a lot of steps you could take to boost up his damage here. So we shall see. All right, none of the overcharges really matter. So I guess we'll do David's first because it's more dramatic. I'm gonna do slow-mo, so I remember to cancel the app in case we do win. David, guaranteed crit or Merlin's Buster. I guess Merlin's Buster. Well, Lubu doesn't need to hit 2 million. That's the thing, because David is going to do like 400k. Depends on high-low roll. I wouldn't be surprised if this setup is like dependent on high-low roll, because we're pretty minimal on damage here, so we'll see. Yeah, that was not the best damage I've ever seen out of David, but we have to do 1.6. So this makes me think that this would need a Lubu Buster card. I think we are going to be a little bit short here. We'll see. Nope. Nope. She dead. Okay. Didn't need the Buster card. Buster card would really be a nice safety net there, though. Like, Buster card would be a nice safety net. Which is decently likely. Okay, so that setup worked, and I think that was ungodly budget friendly. That was ungodly budget friendly. And so now I'm gonna show little things we can do just on the team menu. I don't think I'm gonna go into this stage again. I mean, maybe we do, but I'm gonna show little things you could do to shore it up. Like, oh, if you happen to have this, do this instead, because you know, that could have been easier, right? That we were cutting it a bit close. And all that. So obviously David would be better because although David is just so much better because although Merlin gives Lubu more damage, David still gives him some, and then David himself does, the other David would do about 400k, right? And that ultimately is better, and then David just survives a lot better, all that stuff. But Merlin works if you don't have a friend that's got David. Also, if you can make Merlin work, you might as well, because Merlin does make MASH survive better. And Merlin does give you the NP battery, so you're less reliant on starting NP and stuff like that, and that frees up more options. So if you can make Merlin work, there are certainly benefits to it. But if you're really struggling with the survivability side of things, and if you're using a stronger damage dealer, you wouldn't need it. Okay, so the first thing that would make this a lot easier is just a better damage dealer, right? I think a lot of people are going to have a better damage dealer than Lubu. However, depending on what you have, it will change the team here and there, right? If you're not doing Buster, that incentivizes not using Merlin. I would say if you're not, you really would want to find like a David or something else if you're not doing Buster. But I think one of the best options for NA, not necessarily for JP now, because JP, some players may not have her, but on NA, I overwhelmingly recommend Jerker here, because the event that gives you her is right before this event, right? It's right before it. So you're like, everyone's going to have her. She's also unbelievably easy to get to 10-10-10. Like, her skill maps are so easy. She is so fucking easy to get to 10-10-10. And she has a battery skill. She has a 20% battery skill. And she also has a MP gain skill, and she has survivability. Remember those, like, that beginning we were trying to get things ready? There was like maybe that one turn where Leonidas didn't have taunt up. She has an evade skill. So you just do that when Leonidas doesn't have his taunt up, right? So she's for a budget perspective, she's one of the best picks, in my opinion. She's super good here. Like this setup right here, that we're looking at on screen, this would work so smooth. We get our NP no matter what, so easy. And it also, if we wanted to, because she has this charge skill and everything, this frees us up to bring something else. So if you have Black Grail, even if it's not limit broken, go with Black Grail. It's more damage, you'll probably get your NP anyway. That'll really help. Heaven's Feel, same thing. So yeah, she's like the best pick ever. Kentucky is another really good pick. If you're going to use Kentucky though, I think you'd really want to use Heaven's Feel or Black Grail, something that just really peaks that damage, because Kentucky's got that massive battery skill, but he doesn't have the world's best NP damage. And so because he's already got so much battery himself, you don't need a starting in PCE at all. And so if you'd really want to use Kentoki with something like Berserker Kentoki, excuse me, you'd really want to use Berserker Kentoki with like a Black Grail, Heaven's Feel, one of those things. Let's see, what's some other really good options? I think Rider Kentoki could actually work here, definitely. You're probably going to need a stronger CE. Again, if you use Rider Kentoki, you're probably going to want Black Grail. Heaven's Feel might be pushing it. He might be able to do with Heaven's Feel, I don't know. I don't really want to test it. I don't want to do 22 turns just to see if Kentoki can do it with fucking Heaven's Feel. But I'm sure he can do it with Black Grail. You wouldn't want to use Merlin, though, for that. You want to go back to Alex. If you're using Quick, I would use Alex instead of Shakespeare, because Alex just makes this fight so much fucking easier. He's got good damage up. You know, he's got the charm. Unless you have a better support. That's another thing. We're covering DPS right now. Right? We're trying to leave you a better DPS. So we'll go into, like, the better supports you could bring. Atalante Alter would be really good, because she, again, has a survivability skill. So if you have, like, that one turn where you don't have stun or you don't have taunt, she can cover herself. She also has Star Absorb and all that at the end. So if you're a little bit short on damage, you could get a crit a lot easier. She has a lot of damage up. She can work with Scatty. Scatty setups work here. You have to change a few things, but Scatty setups work just fine here. So Atalante Alter can work really well. Let me think. What are some other? You know, Beowulf can work. I think it's obvious. If Lubu works, of course Beowulf works. Pinth works. Pinth is nice because she has a lot of damage up. Hercules can work, although Hercules definitely can work, but it kind of depends on your MP rank. So that's going to kind of depend. Same for Beowulf. MP1 Beowulf, you might be pushing it. I might go with Lubu over an MP1 Beowulf. I don't know. Let's see. What are there some other options? And like again, there's some really weird things that can be DPS here, dependent on your CEs. You know, fucking Ku is. There's no reason to use Ku as DPS here, but Ku can one-shot this, right? If you give him a decent CE and stuff. I mean, fucking Billy worked. So there's all kinds of weird stuff like that. Probably could make Arthur work because she's a giant. Again, a bit dependent on CE. So for supports, obviously David instead of Merlin, if you can get that, that works really well. If you're doing, art, you would want to do. Now this is really noteworthy. If you're doing an art one, Mozart works just fine. Mozart's actually phenomenal because he's got a larger damage bonus for you than normal. And getting your NPs easy. You click. Whenever your DPS unit gets their art card, that's when you click Mozart's third skill and to do the crit thing, right? So you get massive NP gain off that. That makes it very easy to use like Black Grail. If you don't have starting NP, that makes it super easy to get your NP in time. If you and then do Mozart's art up when you switch out, right? Because it only lasts one turn, but when you come back, they'll still have it. But the one thing about Mozart is he doesn't have a survival skill like Shakespeare does. And so if you're not using Leonidas or something like that, you might want to give him like Parted Sea. You don't want to give him too much survivability because you don't want him to live through King Potato Chips in P. So if you gave him like the Knith CE or something like that, he might live too long and you don't want that. But honestly, I think if you're doing Leonidas, you're probably good, right? Like that Leonidas, that worked really, really well. And at that point, you don't have to worry about them and just make sure you let them die. But I think that was clear enough in the run we just did. Yeah, foreigners are the ones that wreck themselves. For most players, Berserker is going to be the best way to go here. Or Anti-Divinity. You can do Anti-Divinity. If you have Scath, Scath was easy mode here. Scath will do so much. She barely needs any help to do the damage. Actually, I think if her NP's high enough, she might not even need it. Like between the Mysticode buffing her twice and all that stuff. So yeah, if you happen to have Scath, she'll work super well here. That's like crazy easy mode. Like seriously, if you have Scath, just you're so set. Rula Martha would work here. Rula Martha would work here, I think. A bit harder than Scath because Rula Martha on NA won't have her upgraded NP. On JP, you could make Rula Martha work extremely easy here because she also has the upgraded NP. And you know, Buster can work well. And Shakespeare's not bad to get that bad. Like if I was gonna do Rula Martha, let's say Jerker was Rula Martha here. You know, I would stick with Shakespeare, and I guess I might be somewhat incentivized to stick with Merlin, but I don't think I would. Yeah, I'd pretty much do exactly what we just did, but I would. And Shakespeare's nice because it got the 20% battery. I might make a YouTube video of this kind of basic setup just so I can really, and I might even put it on my second channel and have commentary so I can really explain this boss fight to people because it's easy if you understand it. If you really understand what's going on here. This is not a hard fight to do. It's hard to understand, I'll give it that. Like when you first do this fight, you're like, what the fuck is going on, right? But once you, if you understand, like, okay, the defense down phase, you know, you're supposed to do it on turn 22, you get the stuff, it's really easy. Like, I think such joke accounts can beat this this boss fight if you really understand it. So I kind of want to make, I think a lot of people are scared of this fight on NA, but there's really no need to be. It's not a big deal. Like, you You just gotta make it to that turn 22. Like, seriously, that setup I just did on stream, that was such a bad setup. Like, oh my god, like, you were, it's so easy to have something better than that setup, so and that fucking setup worked, so. And if you're sitting here like, oh my god, I don't have any of these things, I don't have any DPS, then you've got time. Go level your Lubu, or get Jerker when she comes out, right? Because, I mean, seriously, Jerker makes this a lot easier. Jerker gives you a lot of wiggle room here. Just battery, more damage, survivability. Like, it'll work out. It's called Green Talks. It's called Honako Green Talks, not Green Eats. Thank you, Fury. I'm sure I would get some subs if I made a food review channel, but Jerker is such a horrible nickname. I mean, it's so applicable, though. Like, it follows the naming logic that people use, and that's why I use it. And it's also hilarious, because she's pretty fan servicey, right? So, like, it's amazing. Like I love that nickname, because it's perfect. Does Tristan work as a replacement for David? I mean, kind of, but he's so much worse. Like, I don't know why you would do that, because, like, everyone can have David. Like, there's a lot of reasons Tristan is worse here. Tristan doesn't have charisma. That actually really helped. You know, David contributed a nice bit of damage to Lubu there. It adds up. And then David is tankier than Tristan because he's got David didn't need it. We really did not need David's first skill there, but we got it just because he didn't really get attacked much, which was actually unlucky. You actually want David to get attacked because he's so fucking tanky here. Like, our David there was so overkill, but that was like I said, that was luck. If you're getting pushed more, but it just depends. If you bring in Tristan, it's a pros and cons thing, right? That's going to change stuff, right? He can work, but now you're going to need your damage dealer needs to be a bit stronger, right? Because you're not going to have that charisma for them. Although Tristan's and P will do more damage than David's, so that helps. And so David's a bit less. So basically, if you use Tristan, he's a bit less tanky, so you gotta be wary of that, and he's going to be giving you less damage. So I would say he's worse than David in every way. I can't think of any advantage to Tristan here, but he can work, and the slight areas where you're falling behind, you can make up for in other areas. If you're using Jerker instead of Lubu, or if you're using just a better CE, or any of those. There's a lot of things you could do to comp. It's not like Tristan can't work; he can. It's just if you're getting down to the bare minimum stuff, there's why would you use them, right? If you've got better options, you should use better options. But like, yeah, he can work. No, bust removal doesn't work on her. This would be such a fucking joke of a fight if it did. I mean, it does work on like her attack up and like her the generic stuff she casts. You can use buff removal on, but that stuff's not that big of a threat. I guess I will say I guess the attack up can add up. I mean, when you're in that defense down phase, if she's got an attack up and you can remove it with Tristan, that is certainly nice. So like Tristan would make Merlin more survivable. He would make Mash a bit more survivable. So no, that's fair. That is fair. That is a slight benefit. And yeah, I mean, like, he's got some things in his toolkit like that are okay. So like, he's not awful here. I very much think David is still better though. I don't mind Summer Jolter. I don't like that she has katanas. I think that's kind of silly. You know, she's a French servant. Even as a joke servant, I'm like, why? But yeah, I don't mind her. She's not my favorite or anything though, but she's fine. Yeah, buff removal would break this fight. It would defeat the whole purpose. So yeah, the one-shot setup with Mori, I'll just, I'm not going to do it because it's so RNG and you have to reset over and over again until you get like a miracle hand, but I'll show off what it is. Also, I'd have to respec again. I literally respec to do it and then I respec out of it. I had to respec, I had to give Mori the biggest crit up command code, the Ishtar one, and then the anti-divinity one, but I already respec out of those. But you need every bit of damage you can get. So you'd want like a Merlin with a Bond CE or a Ox King, which I had earlier. And then I've got my piece of shit Merlin that I literally leveled just to do this. And for, you know, damage stacking that people wanted. Yeah, you do that, and then you give somebody star, like Golden Carp or something, so, and you can use a Moriarty's Star Absorb skill, so he's gonna crit. So you need the opening hand to be, Double Buster. You need Double Buster, and then you're going to get your NP. I guess the Anti-Divinity one was the... I don't know, I'm not sure if the Anti-Divinity one is the best or not, but it gives you 50% starting NP, which is good. Because Chin gives you 10%, the double Merlins give you 40%, that's 50%, CE 50%, 100%. So you NP Buster. Mori's NP doesn't do that great of damage, but it gives you a Buster Chain and an extra attack, and then his two Buster cards just do just fucking ridiculous amount of damage when you min-max everything. But you literally have to min-max everything. Like, he is really pushing it on the damage to do, because doing 2 million damage in turn 1 is very difficult. You gotta have the command codes, you gotta have the CE, you gotta be Grail to 100, 2k Fode, you know, you need that Ox King or Bond CE. Then you need double crit and all that stuff, and he does just barely 2 million damage. But most Moris are not gonna be able to do that, because again, you have to min-max everything, like every little thing you have to have. Although I guess my Merlin's not min-maxed because he's not a 10-10-10 or 10x10, but it's because I don't give a fuck about Merlin. But yeah, there's really no reason to, if you're gonna try to turn 1 this, there are better options than Mori. It's just, I like Mori, and it's cool that he can do it. But yeah. Alright, I think that's enough. I think anyone that watched what I just did from beginning to end will have a very good understanding of what the fuck is going on in that fight. But anyone that came in midway, I think has no idea. So it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Because yeah, seriously, I think we really. I might make a YouTube video of that. I'll just do that setup again, because like that was such a fucking free to play friendly setup, and I'll just like record a video of me explaining my thoughts as I go and that kind of thing. Or I can just snip that part out of the VOD and upload it. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of awkward if I did it from the VOD, because it took me a while to figure out, oh, I should bring Leonidas, right? Like that. So there's a lot of wasted time there. Alright, so we're never actually going to beat that stage. We're going to keep it around forever, because this is not time limited. You keep it forever, as long as you don't let that stage complete. And this gives you a Grail, by the way, but I already have the Grail from when they ran this before, and if you already have the Grail, it just gives, I guess, a lore or something. I'm assuming it gives a lore. You can't see it because it's a treasure chest, but I'm assuming it just gives a lore. Can anyone confirm that? Like, I don't know, maybe they're crazy and they give us the Grail again, but I'm assuming if you did this before, you just, okay, yeah, if it's just a lore, I don't give a fuck. I'm not giving up this boss fight just for a lore. Alright, let's just move on with the event then. Until we do gotta be careful though, because I'm not sure we're going to keep the Beast Bitch fight on this account, because I think to keep the Beast Bitch fight forever, you have to give up all the wanted quests. And I will say, I really like the idea of having all these wanted quests forever, because that's just such a large playground for testing and you know, messing around and stuff and soloing and everything, that I kind of want to keep them. And I could keep them on my ult account, but there's a part of me that wants to keep them on my main account, just because if we want to do like buff stacking or whatever. Like, it's been nice to have the Beast Bitch fight around forever, but I don't know if I care enough to give up all of the wanted quests. But I don't know, they might force you to do the wanted quests, like, earlier, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, what do we want to do here, Chad? We can do whatever we want. I think we showed off everyone's buffs yesterday. I might show off Melt again, just because Melt's buffs are stupid. Like, it's just Melt's buffs are stupid. Let's see how it'd be kind of fun to see how she does against Berserkers. Let's see if we can find a better Melt than that. This is kind of good timing, though, that I get to show all this stuff off, because this is coming to NA very soon. I think, don't you all have, like, Summer 2 rerun, Summer 3, then CCC? Isn't it like that, roughly? Or am I out of my mind? Maybe I'm forgetting something. I know we have other melts on our friends list. Oh, it must be after the Summer 3... Is that after the Summer 3 rerun? Is that... I'm not sure that's right, because, I know it was after Jerker. Was it after the Jerker rerun? I guess, because I know everyone had just gotten Jerker. That's why I used her. So I guess, so wow, I guess people have you have two opportunities to get Jerker before you have to deal with this fight. Well, never mind then. Well, weird. Okay, I thought it was longer ago than that, but I guess I'm out of my damn mind. Also, can't find any melts to show off. Well, that gives you all a lot of time to prepare then. You have a lot of time to prepare then. So you should have Kirei abs by then and everything else, so. There's a melt. Look, man, there's a lot of events and a lot of reruns, and now we have these fucking main interludes, right? It's pretty confusing, right? I'm over here playing 2 versions of the game, and then events come back after a year, and and then some events come back after 2 years, right? It's a mess. You try to remember all this shit. Oh, Tamcat, okay. So, crit down. That's actually really, every time we try to show off, well, we have buff removal, let's do that. Alright, let's see if Tam can actually kill our taunt walls in a timely manner. Yeah, I want more main interludes, being able to keep fights around forever. Well, right now we don't have much to pick from, but eventually we should have a good number to pick from. This event's a big one. This helps a lot, because this gives us more fights than normal, especially because that side story. Oh my god. Because normally you can only keep one fight from the main story, but this one lets us keep 2. And we get the wanted quests on the side, right? So that's a lot. Like, we're getting a lot out of this event, so I'm really happy about that. This song is from Gotcha Force. Gotcha Force. Not Gotcha Force, Gotcha. Like the regular English word. Very old game. Okay. Get rid of that crit down. Well, time to start ramping up like a dummy. I messed up. I could have removed the defense down. I forgot she does that. I don't use melt. What do you want from me? But yeah, I should have done the attack up, then removed the crit down, and then gotten rid of the defense down as well. That's actually bad because we're fighting a berserker, and you know they kind of hit hard. I think we'll be fine because we have a lot of survivability, but there was no reason to. Wow, way to not crit with anything. Way to go. Well, that kind of sucks. Try to show off damage, and she's just like, I'm not gonna let you do that. Can't let you do that, Star Fox. I mean, we still did kind of good damage, but I mean, not real. She has so much defense up right now. Like, that's really dumb. Like, she has so much defense up there. We've never gotten to show off melt like proper, because it's always something like this. Okay, well we won. We'll move on. That's not a, there's no way I'm gonna keep that stage. That's a pretty whatever one. I mean, you could use melt against King Potato Chips. I don't really want to take 22 turns to do that. Are they gonna force us to do wanted quests at some point? I'm gonna be really mad if that happens. I think that might be where we're at. So I kind of need information from other people, really, because I need to figure out, like, how many wanted quests can I still have available when I get to, like, Passion Lip or something that I'd want, a boss fight that I'd want to keep. And then, like, if there are certain ones I can keep and which ones if I have to do them all or not. Because I'm assuming the reason I can't move on is because I need to do wanted quests. It's either that or... Actually, no, I just need to buy these, I think. Okay, that's good. Thank God. Because if I can keep every wanted quest, I'm going to be so happy. Yeah, I know parts of it are time gated. I'm not going to do any wanted quests until I absolutely have to. So we'll see what... Okay, good. We can keep going. It's a main interlude. It's basically, you can buy it from the shop for rare prisms, and you can, like, if you make a JP account, like, 10 months from now, you could still do this. But you don't get access to everything. You get the main story, and then, like, the side story, and then it looks like the wanted quests, but you don't get the free quests. But the rewards from the main story are different, so you get, like, the KP and everything that you need. So it's a more... Honestly, this must be an awesome way to experience the CCC event, because you don't have to do any farming. Right? You just do the main story and, like, the fun side bosses, like, and it only costs 5 AP, right? You can do these, like, side bosses. And they're just 5 AP, right? This must be a really nice way to experience the story, because it's... You don't have all the, like, the filler. And look at all these wanted quests. I hope we get to... Oh my god, if I can get to, like, a boss fight that I want to keep and not have to do any of these wanted quests, I'm gonna be so happy. The first boss fight, I'm like, yeah, that's worth keeping, would be the Passion Lip fight. I think the Passion Lip fight is a pretty legit, you know, fight, at least for soloing and stuff. If you wanted to keep a fight, though, for, like, a team, you'd want to keep the Kiara fight. I think everyone wants me to keep the Kiara fight. I just don't know if we could... I don't think we'd be able to unlock it without doing all these wanted quests, and it's a hard sell. Okay, that doesn't look time-gated yet, so I'm worried that we have to do something else. Oh, it's just that. Well. How many of these are there? Oh my god, there's so many. They just want to murder your QP, man. I mean, CCC is permanent now. Except you have to be kind of picky about what you keep. Alright, what are we going to use, chat? Yeah, I love this song. This is one of my favorite songs ever. Yeah, if you don't clear... Well, right now, it's time limited right now, and because it's free right now, you can do it without using rare prisms. But after that week is up, then you have to use rare prisms to unlock it. But once you unlock it, it's unlocked. But if you beat a stage, it's gone for good. So you have to, you know, cancel the app if you want to keep the stage. Gwaine. If we're gonna do Gwaine, I'm gonna use my Gwaine. I'm okay with... I haven't used Gwaine in so long. Okay, we'll use Suzuka. Why not? Does anyone have a better Suzuka than mine, though? Because mine, is not the best. Because I don't want to use bones on her. I've got the skill gems. I don't. She's like 6'5" or something like that. They won't make it repeatable here, though. There's no way. It's like the challenge quest in the Edmund thing wasn't repeatable, even though it was originally. I mean, we literally just did the king fight. Like, I don't want this stream to be just doing that over and over again. And I could not have gone in more detail there. Like, if that team works, anything does, right? Like, I can't get more legit than that. I don't think it's even possible to get more legit than that. Well, actually, Leonidas, more Leonidas focused setup, maybe. The thing is, if you like the Edmund Endurance run, when you beat the stage, just cancel the app and you can do it again. Because I still have it. Like, I still have it. Because all you get for beating it is like the lore, right? That's not and like a summon ticket or whatever. That's not that big of a deal. I'd much rather keep the fight. I haven't unlocked that stage yet. I'm still on the Joan of Arc one because I keep thinking I'll make a video for it and I keep not. I do want to get that Edmund Endurance stage because that'd be a fun stream every once in a while to just do that stage again. At some point do it non-budget. The budget way though is just like Nash, I think David, Robin. No, I think it's Nash, David, Hans. Which that'd be even easier now because Hans has got his upgraded third skill. Why am I using a saber against archers? I don't know why I'm doing this. This is not going to end well. And then I brought a Lancer taunt, right? And that's bad because then he might not die. Speaking of Robin, indeed. I can't remember when this event was legit. Were there bonus servants that did bonus damage? I don't remember. If there was, they don't have it now, which is actually kind of cool. I actually prefer that. Because, like, if Gozen had a bonus damage, she doesn't now, which is nice. But it was bonus drops. That sounds right. So did anyone have bonus damage as well, though? I honestly cannot remember. But regardless, whatever bonus there was, it doesn't exist for the interlude, so. I'd actually like them to do a main interlude for Case Files, just because I liked the final boss of that. That would be a final boss I would like to keep. I think we keep that Robin alive, so he NPs Leonidas. That'll hopefully get the job done. Do I need a Buster buff to kill this guy? I mean, I guess we'll just charm the other one. Although our charm skill isn't maxed, so maybe we won't charm the other one. What was the challenge quest in Case Files? Because they'll probably force you to pick between the main story final boss and the challenge quest. I doubt you could keep them both. I don't remember what it was. Waver and Alex. That was, I mean, that was a nice kind of just standard challenge quest. That was, you know, so I like that one. I don't know if that's worth keeping over the main story one though. I don't know. I like those both a fair amount. I'm not sure what I would go with there. The main story one is definitely thematically cooler. But the other one is, I guess, a bit harder, but it's not as interesting, I guess. Please charm, please charm, please charm, please charm. There you go. We're actually in trouble, though. I'm not sure we can do 15k in one go. We might. That extra attack helps. Yeah, well, they'd be kind of inconsistent. The Edmund thing, which wasn't exactly a main interlude, but it basically was, that gave us the challenge quest. But then, what was the other one? The Christmas one didn't, which is why I kept the Ishtar fight. Okay, these are Lancers. Part of me wants to get the Stargin, but we don't really need to get the Stargin, so we do this. By the way, the amount of sure hit that she gets is kind of awesome. Robin, are you okay? Well. What really sucks is we can't take advantage of our MP gain buff that we get. That's what they gave her when they buffed her. She does more MP damage and she gives herself an MP gain buff. But we couldn't do the art there because they were all dead. Oh, it's Tamcat again. Okay. Should be able to face tank a turn. I need to get my NP as fast as possible, I think. If I could have done art that turn, I think I could have done it and still had my crit buff, and then gotten double crit buff, and then done the anniversary blind so I NP'd and crit in the same turn. That would be so strong. It might still happen if we get lucky. No. We're barely gonna miss it. That sucks. I think I use Guts here in case I die. I need to try to win next turn. Guts doesn't proc here though, I'm gonna be really sad. I probably could have done Buster Art quick there, done more damage and made roughly the same stars. Damn it, I could have saved our Guts. Well, there goes our buffs. So much damage gone there. Man, if we could have done double crit buff, because we're doing a Buster chain, and then the NP goes first, so we get the crit buff before the Buster cards. Did she drain my stars? Did she drain my fucking stars? What a bitch! I think we're fucked now. Oh, and we lost sure hit. Right. Well, we're fucked. We would have been fucked anyway. I might try that again with her, but we would need to get really lucky to win this with her, I think. Get destroyed, idiot. That really went bad. We lost the sure hit and she drained our stars. We'll try this again. I think she can beat this. Actually, I don't think we need to get that lucky. I think we just need to play right and get a little lucky. I think we do need to get a little lucky. Will you stop doing that? Yeah, she drained stars. Look at that. Yeah, I don't think Suzuka cares about Tam's opinion. That's kind of the thing. Might change the CE. Go with a gut CE and a crit damage up. The starting MP is not that necessary. This would make it a lot harder to kill the Robins though. Like this is seriously gonna make it harder to kill the Robins. I'm gonna try it though. It adds a lot of, it helps at the end a lot. Okay, man, it would be really nice to be 10-10-10 because you get the shorter cooldowns, you know, that would help you go around the wheel and all that. I like Suzuka's gameplay a lot, actually. It's pretty fun, especially since they buffed her. I'll have to level her skills because they are bad right now. I'll get to it at some point. Kind of sucks doing a Brave Chain on 2k enemy. I kind of like how she acts like, you know, typical schoolgirl, if you will, but then she actually has like the side of her that's a lot wiser and all that, so that's kind of interesting. Leonidas didn't die. That's not good. Probably bring a different taunt. The problem is, I can't kill one of them this turn, so then the other one's going to NP. Oh god. I think I have to NP here. I'm gonna try to. This might not kill because I'm not using my Buster up. I'm not doing and my CE. My CE doesn't give me damage, so I'm a little worried. Okay, that'll definitely kill that one. The question is, can Art quick kill the other one? I think so. This is so bad though, because now I don't have my NP for the Lancers. Although at least the Lancers do less damage, so if I get poisoned, that's gonna suck. Give me 3 turns to kill them all. There are advantages to that. There'd be a lot of advantages to this if I was 10-10-10. Well, if Area or Bull is here, they could read the NP for us. But I have no idea what it says. I feel like I've been told what it says before, but I don't remember. Okay, I want to make as many stars as possible. I could honestly NP just to get the NP gain buff, but let's not do that because we lose a turn of it when it switches screens. It's not worth it. We have some real choices to be made here. So we can do a lot of damage right now because I'm very likely to crit here because I can use this thing and we'll get 20 stars on top of the 15 we already have. And then I could do both buster ups, and then we NP, and the NP applies to crit up, and now we have crit up, and we have those stars, and the buster up, and then all of the buster cards after could do a lot of damage. However, I can do even more damage than that if I NP Art, and I get my NP back really fast, because then I can have double crit buff, right? The only problem is she likes to drain stars. I think that's like a gimmick here, is you lose stars after this point. It'd be harder to crit. But double crit buff, man. We could have double crit buff, double buster up, buster chain. Because I can live long enough to do it. Like, I can absolutely live long enough to do it. Because, I've got the gut CE. I think the practical thing to do is just go boom now and then just spam normal cards and kill her. Because we can do so much damage this turn, we'll just win in a few more turns, right? Like, no problem. That's blatantly the way to play this. That's the smart thing to do. That has, I think, would win pretty much every time. The other way is way cooler, though. But if we don't crit, I will cry because our crit chance will be worse on that turn, and I don't see. The smart thing is to give her, you know, Star Absorb or something on the buster cards, but I didn't do that. We're gonna go the fun way. What's the point of living if you're not gonna have fun, right? I probably should have done that 60% quick because it's pretty likely to crit and then stars, but she's gonna drain stars, so. Watch us get double buster crit, and then we're like kind of screwed. Ideally, she was like double quick. I wanted to hit me a lot. Count. We have enough time though. Like we should be fine. The last time we like lost a turn, God, that drains so many stars. And I think I can get away with not putting art last. Trying to work in a few stars here. Uh-oh. I should have done art quick art. Come on, there we go. So, yeah, we have a lot less stars this time. We have 22 stars opposed to 35. This is where command codes could help. Because I could do like the Santa Altar command code on our quick card. So we would have 4 more stars, and I could have Star Absorb on the buster, so we're more likely to crit with them. That would be a lot better. If we crit with something, we're going to do so much damage here. She's got double crit buff. She has double buster buff. We have buster chain. But, yeah. 60%. I'm not feeling so good. I think she could still win from this position. Even if we don't crit. I think. I mean, double buster buff alone is going to be a lot of damage. The shark. Oh, she's got a defense buff right now. It's so much better to NP on turn 1 because she has no buffs. Like, she has no buffs at all. And you won't have star drain. Like, 100% you just go in the first one. This is not worth. That was nice damage on that crit though. Like, I think we would have already won by now if we had NP'd with all the buffs on turn 1. Oh my god, can you like not do that? Double defense up, man. See, now we don't have our... Yeah, you just do it on the first one, because then for those few turns, that you're trying to finish her off with normal attacks, you have sure hit. This is the no fun allowed zone. We're gonna have to be meta. Chat, we have to be meta. Oh god. We actually might be able to live here because we can do attack down. And we have 4,000 health, so we might live here. Yeah, she has defense and the evade, so wasting our evade, or our sure hit as we did, was not a great move. Come on, attack down, save my life. Yeah, I didn't get my MP. I thought I was gonna get my MP there. The music knows. Okay, Tails, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna take this seriously next time, because that didn't work. Guys, Tails is dying. Biggs the cat just killed Tails. Can you believe that? Biggs the cat just killed Tails. I thought they were friends, dude. This is amazing. Why did I bring George? Why did I bring George? What the fuck? I have no idea why I did that. Okay, so if I'm playing this way, I don't know if we need the gut CE. If I'm gonna go for more, oh my god, kill it in the face setup. I mean, having guts is a nice safety net, though. I guess we'll stick with it. I don't know if it's necessary. I really don't. I like how there's been like a whole adventure of Beastly trying to add somebody on his ult. Oh, that's not good. You really push it on killing these archers in time with her, and that's not a good start. Uh-oh. Oh, we're fucked. We are so fucked. We are so fucked. We've got nothing done. Oh, we're in for it now. I'm pretty sure the first Robin gets the 2 actions, so charming that one means they only get 1 action this turn. Assuming I kill this guy. Oh no. Okay, we go. What? He just buster crit! That wasn't just a crit, that was a buster crit. It's like, this arrow's got your name on it. That's not good. That's not good. This is the real boss fight, by the way. We're in for it now, boys. We need our NP to do 10k with no buffs. I'm not confident. It's a lot of swords, guys. It's a lot of swords. I think that was enough. No! Hey, so chat, how do y'all feel about trees? Do y'all like trees? Maybe meeting trees from like old legends? Do you like meeting trees from old legends? They are green. So, yeah, we just lost. Part of me wants to bring a Rosh. I feel like bringing a Rosh is fair because she can clear the archer stage. I mean, she can kill the archers there, like, you know, cleanly, but it's random, right? It's like really random if it works out or not. So just to save AP, I'm just gonna bring a Rosh. I don't even care. I just fuck it. Being counterclass, man. I'll level her skills whenever I get a lot of bones. I need a lot of bones. Cause I need to save bones for, like, what if Sir K needs bones? What then, chat? What if they add Green Knight and he needs bones, right? What am I supposed to do here? Somebody give me a lottery event that has skill gems, bones, void dust, and hero proofs. Like literally fuck every other mat. Oh. Now that we got a Rosh, now we get really good luck. Yeah, I could see Green Knights needing proofs, but they seem to be going more the monstrous route, like with his older legends and stuff. Well, they seem to be fusing them, like 100%. If you, the voice line for Gwaine talking about him, they seem to be fusing, like, his older legends, where he works with Morgan, and then his more famous one with Gwaine. They seem to be, like, combining those, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, we'll see how it all works out in the end. Okay, now this hand was bad. This was a nothing turn. Fuck. That was so meta. Cause they didn't kill the taunt. Holy shit, what was that? This makes me want to bring Atlas now. See, command codes just remove so many annoyances, but I've never bought. You know what? I'm not gonna give her anything like super good. I don't use her enough, but I have a lot of like lower end command codes that are just sitting around. I might as well give her those. Like I can alleviate a lot of RNG with just some basic stuff here. Besides, someday I'll probably, you know, get her to 10, 10, 10 and all that stuff, so. Alright, let's see, what do I have with, and some of these you can give her, like a lot of these you're not gonna really use anything too special, but, okay, this is such a bad command code. I normally do not recommend using it, but due to the way she works, it'll help a little bit. Not much. This is not a template for how you should use command codes on one of your favorite servants, because that's not what this is. Do I have a Stargen one? Those are always nice. Probably not, because I actually use them. Yeah, I have a lot of them, but yeah, I actually use them, so I'll just do that for now. That's fine. God damn it! I need to remove so many people and add so many people. My friends list has gotten way out of control. All right, I think we're in good shape now. I remember somebody was saying that I don't know what it's like to be a free-to-play because I have clout and I get so much FP because I have a maxed friends list and everybody uses me all the time, and I was just like, you don't know anything about me, do you? I don't get any of that FP. And he was trying to say because I have all this clout and I get all this FP that anytime there's an event, I MLB a bunch of copies of the 3-star CE for the event, so it makes it like way easier for me to get the bronze mat, and then I can like trade it up and stuff. And I'm like, I don't do that. I don't get a lot of FP from my friends at all, and I don't even have a max friends list. And even if I did, I am too lazy to sit there doing FP summons to get the 3-star CE that many times. I normally try to get one copy of it, and sometimes I don't even do that. I normally try to get one copy of it, and that's it. Like, it has no effect on my understanding of what it's like to be a free-to-play at all. I just know how to farm events because I am not an idiot. But yeah, that was a conversation that I had. Wait, there's another Tales of game? Oh, the turn-based one. I don't know. I don't know. It depends on if it didn't look that... I don't know. Like, the animations look fine, the music looks fine, all the characters are nice and stuff. But, I don't know, the combat didn't look that great to me when I saw of it. And I also asked somebody, like, does it have boss fights that are actually hard? And he said no. And that's a big... Now, that was like the beta, and so, you know, really limited content and everything. So I'll keep my eye on it. And it could be like, you know, FGO started off as a joke and I didn't want to play it because its gameplay was so bad. But it got better. And then they added good boss battles. So, you know, maybe the Tales of game starts off as a joke and they have no good boss fights. But maybe down the road they add good boss fights. It has no gear. Well, that's a plus. That's a huge plus. I'll just keep my eye on it. I'll keep my eye on it, and if it ever looks like it's up my alley, then I'll give it a shot. I doubt it ever played as much as like FGO, but you know, we could do some one-off streams now and then. Cause I like Tales of. I love Tales of. If they make Zoggy playable, now that would be a plus. Is it already out? I didn't realize it was out already. What did Cairo think of it? Did y'all like kill my taunts? I'll check it out. I mean, I'll check it out on stream soon. Maybe, because we had to wait for the anniversary, right? We got some time to kill for the anniversary, so maybe stream it and form our own thoughts about it. There's no better way to get an opinion than getting in there and doing it yourself. Might do that tomorrow, actually. Because just in case it does get good, I'd like to accumulate logins or whatever. So if they, you know, rate up Zoggy or some shit, I can get Zoggy if they ever add him, because he's awesome. But yeah, for me to play, because I don't really like mobile games inherently. I don't really dislike them either. I just like and dislike games based on their own merits, right? And a lot of phone games just don't have very good gameplay, and that's what I really care about, so I'm picky. But we'll see. All the villains are CEs, that's kind of sad. If they don't like make any villains playable, that would be lame. You get to select a free SSR of any of the main characters of the different games. Probably go with Yuri then, because Yuri's awesome. There's a few main characters to like. Off the top of my head, I think Yuri and Velvet are my favorite main characters to Tales of. And Lloyd's pretty good. It's almost like I have like a tier list video or something. I almost want to not NP here. Like, it's not that bad face tanking these, and I can even charm one. I mean, I'm honestly just shocked. Like, there's people that follow my tier list and then forget the shit that I even say, right? And I don't mean in the video, because I was like, well, how do you rate her now that she's been buffed? It's like, I literally put in there that I have a pinned comment where every time they buff a 4-star, I'm gonna put in that comment my new thoughts, and that's been there ever, like, literally after, like, hours after she got her buff, and I don't think a single person has read it. But I guess that's a formatting issue. But no, she's fine. Like, she's still not God tier. Like, she's low B+, because, you know, she's still not, you know, keeping up with Gwen and that kind of stuff. Like, no way. But she's fine. Like, she was already fine, and now she does a bit more damage, and she's more likely to loop her NP and that kind of thing. So she's, you know, obviously better than she was. A lot of people say she's wonky, but I don't think she's wonky at all. Everyone thinks you're supposed to do her NP then crit, but it's more like you're supposed to NP and crit on the same turn, and then if you crit again, awesome, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, but you won't have the buster up for the crits. It's just like with like Canis. You're supposed to crit with the NP. Generally, that's not actually always the case with Canis, but it's very similar. Like, it honestly blows my mind how many people can't think of, oh, I could NP and crit with her. Like, people just don't get that. When the NP applies the buff, you don't have to wait until the next turn. You can use the buff right now, Einstein, right? It's like, that's what you do with so many units like Super Orion and Valdi and stuff. Like that, when you use the NP, you immediately want to go into damage, right? You don't need to wait. Like, before her buff, I think it's fair to say she's not amazing, but she's solid. She gets the job done of what you need out of an AoE Saber. And then she's got a little bit of, you know, extra single target oomph with the crit up and the buster up. And then the really nice thing, and this is what everyone I think overlooks, is just her third skill is really nice. That is a lot of sure hit, right? When you fight one of those fights, you're like, wow, you know, a lot of evade going on here. She's really nice for that kind of thing. Like this fight, for example, which we've been obviously failing on, but that was mainly because we've been playing like an idiot. And trying to do something fancy that was not practical. I think we got it now. But see, like, here's the thing. Everyone's like, how are you supposed to use your first skill and then the crit buff and all that? Like, you just do it on the same turn, right? You just do it on the same turn. It's not a big deal. There's a lot of units that work that way. I mean, sure hit has never been a problem for Ku. I like how I have 1 million boss solos with Ku against bosses that have sure hit. I have so many. And people to this day act like sure hit is a big problem for Ku. Why would sure hit be a big problem for Ku? Right? It's like, wow, one of your skills isn't as good anymore, but you still get the defense buff. And the boss doesn't normally always have sure hit. And you still have guts and invulnerability. So it's like, it's not really a thing, right? Like, sure hit's not a big deal. Now, her being a saber is the bigger problem. Like, who gives a fuck about sure hit? I can't really remember a time. Like, generally you have to account for it. Oh, and another thing is, yeah, you always use Atlas on Ku, which, you know, has invulnerability. So it's just not that big of a deal. Like, anytime, like, the fights that are bad for Ku is normally like, I mean, honestly, I can't think of a fight where Ku is like terrible, right? Like, in terms of soloing. He never compares terribly to other people. There are definitely fights where he doesn't do as good as normal, right? Like, absolutely. Like, if a boss has Pierce Invulnerability or Sure Hit, all of the servants that have an evade or an invulnerability are going to perform worse than normal. But actually, he does better than most. Like, if there's a tough boss fight, like God Juna, the God Juna fight, right? Let's say God Juna had, I would just, you know, any tough boss like that. If they have a Pierce Invulnerability gimmick, you know, all the servants with evade and vulnerability are now going to do worse. But Ku does less worse because he still has defense up and guts, and then he always uses Atlas, you know, generally, and that has invulnerability, so it's sure hit, he's fine. Like, he does worse, absolutely, but like a lot of other servants, you know, a lot of times their own, like Ushi's only survivability is the one evade, nothing else. She has no defense up, no guts, nothing else. That's true for most people. So obviously he's gonna do worse, but like I can't think of any of like the hard solo fights where Ku is just like shut down and just terrible. Like, that's never been a thing. There might be times where, like, you know, he's not the right guy for the job. Maybe you need to be a buster servant, or it rewards having, you know, more guts, or it rewards, you know, being more defense oriented, or like, you know, defense up or damage cut or whatever. But I can't think of a single fight that's ever existed other than like saber fights, obviously, where Ku's like bad, even if they have sure hit like buff removal and stuff. No, Ku's fine for Abigail. Because like, Abigail is so much easier. I having fought Abigail more recently. Abigail is so much easier than I remember. Like, Abigail is so much easier than I remember. Like she really is not that hard at all. Again, you know, Ku's not going to be as, you know, as good against Abigail, but he's like, oh my god, he's like, no way, he's Ku here. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of units that solo Abigail that, like, you just use a gut CE. That's like the thing, you just use a gut CE. You can't remove the gut CE, and like then you use your evade and all that for her normal damage. Like, seriously, that's how you solo that. Like that's how you solo Abigail. That doesn't, like, Ku can still do that. Like, again, I don't think Ku's gonna like 100% solo it. I mean, he might once he gets his NP buff. Oh yeah, I have his NP buff. I can actually test that now. I'll wait for command codes because I have Abigail in an A, so I can refight it. I want to see how he does. I don't know if he can 100% solo it, but you don't need 100% solo something to still be good, right? He could still last man stand it really well. Because I suspect he can either solo it or get really close. And once more command codes roll out, I think it'll be decently smooth. Like, the whole reason Scath can solo it is not because of her evade, right? It's just because she has a gut CE. That's like the whole thing. And, you know, she has a niche there with her bonus damage, obviously, but, you just... Yeah, her evade doesn't save her against the NP. Oh, no. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the whole point of that is you're supposed to, you know, win really fast. Like, you know, there's not... If I was gonna do Abigail in a team setting, I'm not likely to use Q because that's just... There's no real need for a Lancer specifically there, let alone a tanky one. Like, you're more like gonna want things with taunts and like Leonidas. That's more applicable. So we lost our sure hit here, but I think we win anyway. She is really tanky here though, because she's got the defense up, the heal, and evade all the time. The thing with buff removal, people are always like, oh my god, you know, Q can't solo anything with buff removal. It's like, you know, you can just space out your buffs like literally anyone else. Okay, that went, you know, I like how when we finally did it the way we said originally, it worked just fine. It's just, man, she is tanky, dude. Actually, Q's not really that bad for Gramps either. Like, there's no reason to use him over like a proper counter class and stuff, but he actually is really good for tanking there because he has guts and the evade, and especially for Gramps when he wasn't attacking at random, you could use him as a tank there. Now you're better off using someone else as a tank like Ku Alter because he's a berserker and actually does bonus damage. But if you were going to compare Ku to everyone else at neutral, Ku's going to do way better than them. Like, absolutely. You have to clear Solomon to do this, but you can. There's no rush. Just like I said, you can buy this from the Rare Prism at any time now. So if you're like, oh, I won't beat Solomon anytime soon, it'll still be there. Like, for real, I don't see any, like, real logical reason to use Q as your DPS. I could see using him as a tank, but, you know, if you got other options, there definitely are better ones. But, like, but that goes for everyone at neutral, really. Aside from, like, very specific units that have, like, niches that pop up, Q is absolutely going to do better than, like, so many things. Just because he has guts and evade, and that's super good there. Why not? But yeah, I get kind of tired of it because I use Ku for, you know, a lot of stuff and I know him really well and everything, and I've really never. People are always saying he's bad for this, and I'm like, I'm like, he's not though, and it's like you can. Oh, hold on. Let me just make an adjustment here. Yeah, it's a one quest now. I won't beat it. I remember this one being a wanted quest. I've always wanted to try this. Alright, here we go. Terrible opening hand, but what else would we expect? I think Ku will win. I agree. I forgot to cast protection from arrows. What the fuck? Handicap. When do I want to cast Guts? It's gonna really depend on... Because we have a gap protection from arrows now, I might need to cast it sooner than normal. It really depends on what his normal core damage is like. Actually, I've only forgot to cast protection from arrows like 3 times ever, and that's from after, you know, playing the game for an ungodly amount of years and being distracted by chat and streaming and everything else, so it's really not that bad. See, that's really unfortunate because I gave up my sure hit. I'm actually going to restart because I messed up really bad, and then I do think you probably want to wait. I'm guessing, though, he doesn't do protection from arrows until he's at 50% or something like that. I think you do Art of Death, then? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Dude, it's just a fact. Like, people act like it's an excuse, but it's not. I mean, streaming is so fucking distracting. Like, it is crazy fucking distracting. Like, it's worth doing, in my opinion, but, lol, we carded it. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but, really? Can I just have a normal? Can I have a normal game here? I don't. Literally just one card. Just give me one card, and I'm good. I don't even need a good hand. I don't even need a medium hand. I just want a not George hand. Good enough. George, man. Dude, these one-in quests are going to be so helpful when I make another NP video. It gives me so many enemies. Like that's super helpful. I just thought of that. That's gonna make my life so much easier. I'm not sure Art of Death is worth it though. I'm really not. Like, even with the way the evade works out, this puts us really behind. Yeah, I never trust their interludes, man. They can't figure it out. Yeah, it might be worth this imping right away, even with the sure hit. And then using the crit stars. You just use the crit stars to NP gain. Like you do art quick. Stuff like that. Because we're a lot of turns behind the other one. We'll see though. He's probably gonna ESA here. Nope. I will wait one turn to do my heal because I want to get rid of the defense down. Well, no, it probably won't matter because I'll cast my protection from arrows. So the scariest thing here is insta-death. Ku's insta-death chance is not particularly high, but insta-death will seriously wreck us. I hate doing my NP here, but like, because I swear I'm going to NP and he's going to do protection from arrows. But I can't hold on to it forever. Like, that's just so much wasted value. I think you might play this like normal with your NP. And then if you can sync up sure hit, great. And if you can't, whatever. Yeah, I knew he was gonna fucking do that. Dude, it's so meta. The way the AI gets to play is you just wait to do protection from arrows until I NP, right? Like, that's so fucking meta. Because then if I'm just holding my NP forever, it's really bad. See, I did all that work to get NP gain, but now he's got 19k health left. Like, that's really bad. I have to get really meta about this one. I actually am leaning towards Decapitating Bunny. Like, it's so dumb, it's so rare you want sure hit on a unit that has an NP with sure hit. But protection from arrows is a bitch, man. I swear it's gonna happen again. Dude, I swear it's gonna happen again. I don't know if Fujino can do this. She can do well against Lancers, but this might be a bit too much health. There's a lot of health right here. However, she has her version of sure hit is definitely better for this fight than Ku's. Obviously, she's got a huge disadvantage though because she can counterclass, but I think a skill sure hit is a lot better than an NP sure hit against protection from arrow. I mean, every time, dude, he does it every time. Every time I NP, then he casts protection from arrows. Like, Jesus Christ. This music, though. Yeah, I doubt Fujino could do it just because the damage output would just be so low. And damage cut has a really hard time against Lancers, obviously. Oh yeah, and Ku's hit count is really low. That's another thing. I'm gonna heal here because I want Guts to not go off this turn. Because I'm gonna get the Protection from Arrows will block the NP, but then I'm gonna hit by normal attacks. So I'm gonna try to not die this turn, but I probably will. Well, I mean, Guts will go off this turn. This is an awkward one. I really need Insta-Death not to happen because I need the hit count. Thankfully, Ku's Insta-Death chance is bad. Damn it! Damn it! I really needed Guts not to go off there. I think I could have won if Guts didn't go off there. Because I can NP, get him super low, and then crit next turn. So this is winnable. I'm gonna have to really min-max though. So because there's no next turn, there is no point in doing a quick chain NP Buster instead. Yeah, if Guts doesn't go off there, I think we win. That is close, man. That is real close. So I like to point out, oh god, he cast Guts. I like to point out, we never ever got value out of our sure hit. It was not a thing. I really don't know what you do CE-wise here. The song is Curses from, what the hell is that game called? I honestly just cannot remember the name of this game off the top of my head. I know what the game is. Replays the ghosts and you kill your friends and all that. I literally just don't remember the name of this game. I don't know why, but I literally can't remember. Crawl! That's the name of the game. I'm sure someone's gonna say it now in chat and then that'll be great. But yeah, it's Crawl. That's the one. Let's try this. There's so many options here though, CE-wise. If you had a higher hit count, it'd definitely be Black Grail, but... There's a command code that gives you Pierce and Vulnerability for the card, which that would help a lot in this fight, but I don't want to... There's no point in respecking if you don't know if you... Like, if you can beat it without respecking, you should try that first. Like, there's no reason to jump the gun. Well, this has been a really bad, That's another thing, is every time we've done this, we've just had garbage opening hands, like, we were really close to winning. I definitely think it's possible. I don't really mind when the first hand's not that great. I really dislike when the second hand's not good, though, because you have a, never mind just getting 2 cards, you have a 50% chance to get a Brave Chain, because there's 10 cards, and you have to get 5 of them, right? So one of the 2 units is going to get a Brave Chain every single time. So it really annoys me when your second hand is just, like, super crappy. It's so easy for your second hand to be good. The thing is, it doesn't matter that it's 3 hits, because you get the first hit will have Pierce Invulnerability, so that doesn't count, and then your extra attack will hit, because you're doing 4 hits. So it makes 2 out of 4 of your hits actually land. That's pretty big deal. I'm thinking you would want to get Buster crits in this fight, because the Buster crits really are an insane amount of damage, and that's probably the best way to make up time. Yeah, I have a feeling if you're going to beat this one with Ku, this is pretty tough. Like, it's just a lot of health and the multi-health bar and then tricks from arrows. Like, this is pretty tough at neutral. I think you need to respec command codes. And you either that or get really lucky. Like, we haven't had like good luck at all. Like, the first hand's been terrible and everything. But because he's probably going to cast Guts near the end and all that, we were actually like 2 turns off from winning. And 2 turns is a lot. So one of those turns we could have made up for with better RNG, but 2 would be hard. So I think you would need command codes that were like tailored to this fight. I think I might have cast Guts 1 turn too soon. The Merlin command code can be good on Ku. It just depends. I don't put it in by default because it just depends on the enemy hit count. Like in a fight like this, it could be good. But sometimes it just results in you overcharging. Like you have that, you still don't get it a turn sooner, and then you just like on the turn after you would have gotten it anyway. Like that can happen a lot. That's why I don't use it by default. But it can be good. Be good in a team setting. I'll say that. If you're doing team play, then it would be extremely good. If I was going to use like Ku in team play like all the time, then I'd probably put it on him. I really want a Buster crit here. We haven't gotten one yet. There we go. Didn't get the quick crit though. Yep, I'm almost positive I cast Guts one turn too soon. It's probably unlikely to go off here. Kinda saw that one coming. I mean, if he crits me here, I would need it. Like, if he double crit me, but I still have defense up, so I don't think I cast it a bit too soon there. Oh my god, we get to use Sure Hit. Yep, did not get any value to Guts. That was unfortunate. Because if I cast a turn later, it would go off this turn, and that would buy me another turn, which is really good. We did have to go into that defense up though, so that kind of hurt. He just did a BM combo. By the way, he gets to do triple buster. It's actually possible for him to do that. I think we just let Guts happen here. Yeah, we've still lost though. I think this is beatable, but you'd have to get pretty nutta and a little bit of luck. I don't think you need any like crazy luck, you just need the absence of really bad luck. And then you definitely need command codes. I'm not sure about CE though, that's another thing. I have no idea what the best CE is here. I'd have to mess around. I do think this is going to be beatable though. Right now it looks like Art of Death is better. Because this was actually... We had slightly better luck this time compared to last time. Not like way better, but we definitely had slightly better luck this time. And we're not doing as well. Although I did mess up Guts. But I think if we had Art of Death on this run, it would have been better, I think. I know it's hard to say, because we had... No, and they're really close, because I had that one turn where I fucked up, so... Because if I had cast Guts the one turn later, I could have NP'd right there. Actually, I think we might have won that turn. I could have done Buster, NP. Shit! I think I would have won right there if I hadn't fucked up my Guts. Because seriously, if I had done Buster, NP... Actually, I think you do... No, yeah, we would have won! I could have done Buster, NP. And then the extra attack would kill the health. Because his Guts comes back with, like, no health. I would have won there! What the fuck? Seriously! Like, definitely, because if I do the 2 Busters before the NP, that would get him down low enough that the NP would proc Guts. And then the extra attack would kill the health he comes back with from Guts. Shit! Yeah, I didn't realize I was only one turn off there. Because yeah, I could totally have gotten around Guts, and I had my MP right there. Well, damn. That's funny how a little thing like that, though, cost me the game. But that happens sometimes. Wow, dude, that sucks. All right, let's we'll come back to this later. We got plenty of stuff we can do here. Okay, user. All right, what is this? Probably too easy to counter class. I would think, anyway. Yeah, I think we can win the coup mirror. We just gotta get our Guts right. Maybe bring a few different CCs, command codes. I think you can win without them, though. I mean, we could have won that time without them, so. Oh my god, she has permanent sure hit. That's really bad for Kojiro. Because, unlike Ku, he has no other forms of survivability. I think Kojiro's dead. I don't think he got this. The crappy opening hand is not the best, and then of course we don't get a good follow-up either. See if we can get crits this turn. Wow, this is shit. I'll be happy if we can break the bar. The fuck. Triple attack, crit, everything else. That was pretty rough. I was wanting to use invulnerability for the NP, obviously, but we would die here otherwise, so... So, Atlas was not good here, because we're not living long enough to get value out of the refund. So default would have been better, just for more damage. Look, he is getting such bad luck, dude, like with the crits and everything, like, my god. Okay. That was we're gonna want to escalate a little bit. Let's see. Why am I looking at casters? I need to look at riders. There we go. Achilles might better do this, even though he's single AoE, just because of the invulnerability thing. Now Canis, now that's fun. Let's go with Canis. Let's try Canis out. That's escalate. It's not like going full escalation, but that's escalating a good bit. The question is, do we? This is always the question with Canis, and it's do you use Atlas or do you use Anniversary Blonde? I'm gonna go with Atlas and see if we can do our third skill twice. I mean, your Canis is not the same as mine though, because you have significantly better command codes and all that. I do find it funny that, like, I don't give her the Stargin one because I don't want to, and I want it on Ku. You don't give her that one because you don't have it. Shots fired, by the way. But we've gone over this before. His Canis is still better than mine, though. The big thing actually is the fact that he's giving Canis the faux pause, not the 2K faux ones. The everyone gets these. They need a better name for those things, but the things that make your normal cards. But okay, fuck this game, dude. That's like the fourth fucking solo in a row where it's like, yeah, you don't get anything for the first two hands. Oh yeah, didn't they skip that Christmas event? Like they just skipped it. Like when it was supposed to be reran, they just didn't. About enough of George today. I don't think they're going to rerun it. I don't think they're going to. I think they'll main interlude it at some point, but I don't think they're going to rerun it because they already skipped it. That's like the only event, like holiday event that they skipped. I do not understand why they did that. Like I do not understand. And like that was even during a period where they were incentivized to be lazy. No, Halloween didn't get skipped. The rerun of Halloween never got skipped. They just skipped a new Halloween event. They didn't skip a Halloween rerun. Oh, that's tempting. I think I go ahead and cast Guts. I think. Although the Guts itself might be wasted. I'll wait one turn, I guess? I don't want to do our attack down. That sucks. I'd love to do my second skill for the damage, but I don't want to do attack down because what if she doesn't kill George? I mean, she should kill George anyway. But I won't have the attack down for myself. I mean, Saber Wars didn't really come with the welfare, though. They just reused a unit that they'd already given out. That's really not making a welfare. That's why she doesn't have welfare mats for ascending and stuff. See, I feel like giving her better command codes would make Atlas a lot better. You're a lot less reliant on Anniversary Blonde for crits if you've got the Star Absorbs and Star Generation stuff going on. Like, I feel like it's really hard to justify. It's really hard to justify bringing Atlas. There are sometimes you do, like sometimes the crits don't matter as much, and sometimes your third skill matters way more and things like that. But fucking Christ, Canis! You couldn't do 500 more damage. By the way, remember when we were talking about those faux pas that give you a higher attack stat on your normal cards? That would really have mattered right there. I don't think I need to mention this though. I'm not happy. Yeah, if I had the other Grail, that would help too. We'll get it eventually. They just haven't added an event that has a Grail, man. What? Oh, that was their NP, basically. Fair enough. Fuck, we're one turn off. We're one turn off from getting our guts back. I should have casted that turn sooner than I guess. We might be able to win though. I like this crit spread. I mean, we got a lot of stars there. We have 41. I think, did we get stars when we broke the bar or something? I think we got this, honestly. We don't have our second skill, but I think we got this anyway, because Canis hits kind of hard. Yeah, I think she gave us stars. We made as many stars as we could there. We did double quick. But yeah, I think we got some stars from breaking. Because that was just... everything had a good crit chance there, pretty much. Go over the bonk! I think we're gonna be one turn short. I don't think we're gonna win. Well, it depends. We'll see. We might win next turn. Fuck, she did guts. God damn it, Liz. Wow, I like how she's done nothing but attack spam. And then when I have invulnerability, then she's like, nah. We might still live though. We get rid of the defense down and we get to do attack down to her, so we might live here. If we live here, we win, because then we got our guts back. I almost want to make stars then, because it's not, unless well, we actually could pop guts if we got lucky crits here. But I could also get my NP if I do art quick, and I get lucky. Nah, we'll go for damage, I guess. Because, I mean, 30, 40, 30, you're pretty likely to get at least one crit. So if we don't die here, because like the attack down saves us, we get the heal and the attack down. Wait, did I not cast my second skill? What? Did I not cast? What the fuck? Did I not cast my second skill? The fuck? I thought I already cast it. God damn it! Like I thought when I went back in like the other menu, I thought I had just already cast it, so I didn't look. God damn it, Canis. So, by the way, we would have won if we did not have that turn where she had 500 health on the break bar. We would have won there. That would have been an extra turn we needed. I'm not sure we would have lived. I mean, a 30% attack down would have really helped there, but she crit. So she did a lot of damage there. I do think Anniversary Blonde's better because if you can't get, let me explain this. If you don't get your third skill, if you don't get your third skill twice, you're only getting one turn of survivability out of it necessarily. Like you're getting, well, the one turn from the damage cut and one turn from guts. That's what you get with Anniversary Blonde anyway, right? And then Anniversary Blonde gives you the guts as well, so you just get more damage. So you have to be able to use your third skill twice and get value out of it, otherwise it's not worth it. Oh, we would have killed too. If we'd done our second skill, not only would we have the attack down, but we would have had we would have popped guts because we would have had the attack up. So I do not want to use my art card right here. I don't want to put the thing on cooldown. Ugh. Well, we can do a quick chain. That's kind of nice because then we're like more likely to crit. So that kind of works. What is this crit spread? What is this crit spread? I mean, I could like make a bunch of stars for a crit on the next turn. That's not necessarily wrong. The thing is, no. We had a good crit spread last turn, or last run, because we made like 45 stars. Like, no shit, you get crits when you have that many stars, right? That's not the same thing. I'm tempted to do NP quick, just so I'm guaranteed, well, not guaranteed, but I have a good chance of critting next turn. And also that quick card will crit and do a lot of damage, well, some damage. No, I'll do Buster Chain, because between the pennies chance, like we might get a crit here, right? And then we'll have we'll have some kind of crit chance next turn. Between those two turns, I should hopefully get a crit or two. That's the idea here. See, I really want to make Canis the best she can be. I really need to change her command codes. But then I'm not going to make Ku weaker, right? So they're at odds with each other. It's unfortunate. Really? You couldn't get one crit, Canis? You couldn't get one crit? Nice damage. This sucks. I want to make as many stars as possible, but I need to do 48k damage. I don't know. I was tempted to do quick and try to make more stars, but I need the NP gain. I might not get my NP anyway, though. Okay, we actually get our third skill back. That helps. Oh, we messed up. Oh, we messed up. We don't have our NP right now, and so there was why do the art card last turn if we don't get our NP? Because we're gonna overcharge so hard on this turn that the art card wasn't necessary at all there. Well, fuck. At least I still have my crit buff, but I don't have my attack buffs or any of that. Surely the 70% crit wouldn't fail again. Surely it wouldn't do that. Okay, that's good. We don't have our nice attack buffs, but that's still decent. Dude, chat threw so hard. I remember when we did chat versus FGO. It was way better casting my third skill a turn sooner, though. That really helped. The song is from Matt Mabinogi, and it's the Succubus Queen theme, which is so weird because this doesn't sound like a Succubus Queen in any way, but it is what it is. She guarded the attack down. That's really bad, because she's gonna cast Guts. Yep. Okay, thank God the damage cut and little attack down we had there was good enough. We're not dead. Even if she recast Guts, we're fine. Do it, you coward! Cast Guts! Do it! Do it! She didn't do it. So yeah, we could pop Guts with NP and then win. I think she can solo this super reliably. I mean, the main thing that was different there was I just cast my third skill a turn sooner. That was way better. And then so I came back a turn sooner, and then we used it, and then we had way more survivability. Because my god, we have a lot of overkill on this turn. So the question is, I mean, that's kind of video worthy, but we've done enough Canis videos. We'll look for something more thematic. That's the thing. Gameplay wise, this was actually pretty cool, but Liz versus Canis is not. I don't care. Like, I don't care very much. Yeah, we could have done a BM combo. I probably should have done that. A lot of people probably haven't seen that. I just wanted to see the Buster Chain damage. You can actually get the BM combo without doing a BM combo. They patched it for her. She has it's very rare. It's very rare. But there's a slight chance if you do like NP Buster and stuff, sometimes she'll do the BM combo instead of the Water Blast. But it's very rare. I'm glad they did that though. It's nice that you can see it every once in a while. They did that for Arthur as well. They patched Arthur at some random ass time. I think we're time gated again. At least we get more wanted quests. Look at all these wanted quests, man. Like, this is so much content. It's great. The chance is very, very low. Yeah, I've only seen it like 3 times. Like, and I use Canis a decent amount. Well, so far they haven't required you to do any of the wanted quests, so I'm hoping we get to keep all of them. I do think you're gonna have to do them for Beast Bitch, so one of the accounts is not gonna get Beast Bitch, but that's not that big of a deal. Let's see. I think this one's George. That's Tristan, I think. That's obviously Jekyll and Hyde, because it's J&H. You know, I'm just gonna do this just to show like how dumb it is if you use Q when you're supposed to use them, which is against archers. Like, it's so fucking dumb. Like, it's so easy. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do for video making purposes and stuff. I think I'm going to keep the wanted quests on the main account, so that means I'll unlock Beast Bitch on the ult account. Well, no, I can, anything I need to do with like NP videos and stuff, I can still do that on my ult account. So maybe I do Beast Bitch on the main account. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hard to say. Oh, this is Tesla. That's not Tristan, that's Tesla. That's right, this was a fight. I remember this now. Well, that's good. This is honestly, I'm actually glad we're using Ku now in a way. This is actually probably one of the harder wanted quests here. It's like this one and the Shiki one are like the two like hard ones. This one's actually pretty annoying because he's got a decent amount of survivability. He can quick charge, like all kinds of stuff. So it's not a complete sham to use Ku here. It's a little bit of a sham, but most of these fights, like if you do them at counter class, are going to be, you know, decently easy. Unless you're using a lodestar. If you're using like a non-grailed lodestar, that's going to be a bitch. But Tesla's a good bit harder than most of these. Sun doesn't worry me too much because we got Atlas. What worries me is him just quick charging a million times, or him landing all of his defense buffs, you know, that kind of thing. I'm very, very, very confident Q is going to beat this, but hopefully it'll make me use my value. Candace is really good though, by the way, like for solos. I mean, she's good in team play, obviously. She's probably better in team play just because she can work with things like Hans and stuff, and it's a lot easier to get the crits out of her. It's a bit tricky to get crits out of her in a solo, unless you really go the mile. The extra mile, and you know, use the command codes and all that stuff. But I've been impressed. I mean, I've tested her against a lot of stuff, and her performance, she's not that far behind like the big boys. She's not quite up there with like all the big boy solo units, but she's really close. Like she's ahead of like the mid tier ones, definitely. And I think with all the right command codes, actually, I think she could keep up. I'm hoping at some point. I don't know. Candace is like kind of popular, but she's not that popular. She's one of those kind of medium popularity units. So I don't know how much people like talk about her and focus on her on the JP side of things, like the JP players. And so like, what I'm saying is if she's like a sleeper hit, she's way more likely to get buffed, like big time. I kind of want her to be a sleeper hit, so they buff her, and then she becomes like one of the better solo units. So she's not as good as Enkidu, but. She's somewhat popular. She's definitely somewhat popular, but she's a very far cry from like, you know, your Neros, Jerkers, you know, Musashi. You know, she's not on that level. So there's not as much discussion about her and that kind of thing. So we'll see. Oh, if you mean the cooldown, make the cooldown on her third skill one turn shorter. Yeah, that would make her kind of nuts. That would be kind of nuts. Can I do Art quick and do 60k? I mean, it's decently likely because they have good crit chances, and he has defense down. If we don't break, it is so bad. But I'm going to be greedy because I feel like we can afford catastrophe because we're a Lancer. Oh yeah, we got that. Did not crit on that last, oh my god. Oh my god. Ku, buddy. I like how we did all that work to get our NP, but now we can't use our NP because he has 1k health left, which means that was pointless. And I should have just broken the health bar. So I played myself. I like how the last quick, which I'm pretty sure had the better crit chance between the two quicks, is the one that didn't crit. And because it's in third place, it has the bigger bonus. If the second quick card had not crit, but the third place one had, we would have broke. See, now it's a damage race. But even with that setback, I'm pretty sure we got this. Although, you know what? Atlas is wrong here. It's so rare for Ku for Atlas to be wrong. But Atlas is wrong. If he only guts once, there's no point. And, I mean, we might be able to use like our defense up on our heal. and then get our guts back. Maybe. But yeah, default would have been better. If I had done default, we would just like kill him right now. Like we would kill him right now. We might be able to kill him right now if we get crits with the busters, but I'm gonna do this. That's probably wrong though. He'll probably guts. I should have tried to kill right now. Yep, default Mystic Code. Definitely what we want to do here, because then you do Buster, NP Buster, and I'm pretty sure he just dies in one turn. Because yeah, if he guts here, we're in trouble. Now he can't guts right away, he's scripted to do his NP, but then after that, he might, and that would be really shitty. Well, you use protection from arrows for the defense up, like that's why you use it. If we, like, okay, he didn't guts though. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad. Like, we'd have to push it here and hope our defense buff and counter classic. I think we're actually pretty likely to live here. Because that's the thing, if you're at neutral, you're actually pretty likely to die here. But at counter class, if you're counter classing, 4k health, you know, goes a good bit, and then we have a defense up. So honestly, I think it's very unlikely Tesla would have killed us here. And then we get guts back, and then we obviously win. But we win here, because he has defense down, we have crits. He's super dead. I don't even need a crit. Like, I don't even know. I almost want to try to let him... I kind of want to try to not kill him. I kind of want to not kill him to see if... But I don't know if I can not kill him, because I think almost any combo I do here would do 54k. So, yeah, he's super dead. Yeah, there's like no way he's not... he's defense down, and like all my stuff has good crit chances and all that. But that was actually pretty close. Yeah, default would have been better, though. We would have already won. We would have already won. We super win though if he doesn't kill us next turn. If our defense up and 4k health survives, he loses Pierce Vulnerability, and then we get our invulnerability and all that, so we like super win. And it's funny, this song is actually on both playlists. The other playlist I literally like manually click it when we want to do replica stuff. And the other playlist is just set to random, and this is just it just happens to be playing this right now. That was just a coincidence. Alright, I don't want to risk losing this stage, so I'm not even gonna murder him, because we obviously won there. That was close, though. Tesla made it a game. Like I said, Tesla's actually pretty tough. He's one of the harder wanted quests. I think him and Shiki are the two hardest, I think, for sure. There's one or two other ones, though, that are a bit tricky. Because they all get, like, some kind of gimmick when you break their health bar, and his is he gets his Pierce Vulnerability, so... I don't remember Emiya's too well. Oh, Emiya's so easy. He gives you quick up. Oh my god, they just want you to murder him with Ku. And his gimmick is when you break his health bar, he gets his NP. And that can blindside you. Like, that could blindside you if you weren't ready for it. Yeah, he's not too hard. I'd be hard at neutral, though. When we get to Emiya, we'll try him at neutral. I think that might be a bit tricky at neutral. And we'll do a non-quick unit. That'll make it much better. Tesla at neutral is actually brutal. People that have guts, though, have a way better time. I bet you Fujino can do it, because she has guts and damage cut. Both of those things don't care about Pierce Vulnerability. So I think Fujino at neutral's got this. It's still tough, but I think she's got this. I kind of want to try that real quick. I'm not as good at Fujino as Beastly, but at least I at least know the basics, so... The main thing is you need to make sure you've got your damage cut for when you break the health bar. Wait, doesn't Beastly have it in the all slot? I know I have Beastly on this account. Fujino could definitely handle Emiya. I don't see why not. I think she's got this because Tesla's hit count is kind of high, so I think that would do the trick. Actually, he's only masked at the start. When you break his health bar, he goes into regular Emiya, so, but yeah. Dude, we're gonna hit all those bosses, man. I'm really happy. Like, most of those bosses, they're a far cry from, like, a story boss, like, even Gwaine. But they're decent. They're decent. This Tesla's pretty good, actually. I tell you that. I tell you what, if we ever want to test somebody in the future at neutral, that Tesla stage will put them to the test decently well, so... But really glad to have that. I don't seem to be able to get Beastly. Feels bad. Alright, chat, throw some names at me. What do we want to try here? It's gotta be neutral. It's gotta be neutral, so no Berserkers, no Lancers. But I think this is gonna be a complete bitch at neutral, unless you have a lot of guts and stuff like that. Kama should do all right. She's really like she'll do fine because she won't even care about the pierce amount ability because she'll just charm, and then you can let it let it slide. Old Lee, Waver, Achilles. Oh, I like that. Luvia, I like that. Who? I think Lost has a better Luvia than that. Is Lost? Are you still here? Achilles would be cool. I don't think you. I think though Pierce amount ability would wreck him. Yeah, Luvia, Lost Luvia is the best one I know of. Let me see if he's been online recently. Oh, there's Beastly though. Okay, we'll do Fujino real quick, and then if Lost pops in, we'll the stage isn't going anywhere, so we can always revisit this with Luvia. I do like the idea of doing it with Luvia though. I actually like that idea a lot. So. Your Rulamar third would be kind of interesting. He doesn't have Divinity or anything though. It'd be tough. He'd probably lose. Edison, Edison don't got a chance, man. Not a chance. As it should be, lol. Let's just be safe. Not doing anything stupid here. We made the right decision. When do we use her third skill? This is actually kind of weird. Guess we can use it now. We just gotta make sure we got it for when we break his bar. This is not a great time to use our second skill, but I figure go ahead and use it and get it on cooldown. I'm gonna do art. I'm gonna do art. I know we're throwing out so much damage out the window there, but they got the better crit chances, so I'm gonna go for it. Coward. Hey man. Like those art crit, and we didn't get the 60% crit, okay. Nice damage. I'm very confident you can do this. I'm not sure I'm gonna figure it out though in one go. I didn't get much NP game there, but I'm counting on Tesla's NP giving it to me. Oh, he landed the Tesla's a strong guy. Well, to be fair, most units aren't going to have the debuff clear command code, and I did it because I did a Buster on turn 1 and I wanted the damage. But it didn't work out. But that's, it's not like his stun chance is high. Like, it's not. Although if he's probably going to NP at least twice in this fight, and there's an okay chance that one of them is going to stun. I mean, we didn't waste it. It gave us more damage. Chat, has nobody learned? I swear when people get like that in chat, I'm like, you're just asking for it like so hard. Like everyone's just like they're like thirsty to be a twat. That did not go well. Like never the stun thing didn't even really matter. Like we'd still be in really bad shape regardless of that. We just did not land the debuff there. We didn't get the buff block either, did we? Like the buff block, oh my god, she can win this so easy, I just realized. She can buff block the Pierce Invulnerability. That's stupid. That's so stupid. So yeah, you wait a little bit to cast your third skill. I think we cast it too soon. And then we use it twice. And I think you can deal with the second health bar. That is so stupid that she can block the Pierce Invulnerability. Like that makes this so much easier. That's it happens so often too. I can't tell you how often there's like a boss fight that's a real bitch to solo, and then when you're on Fujino you realize, oh yeah, buff block. That's gonna make this a lot easier. He double guarded. It doesn't matter that you have the debuff removal command code though, because it applies after. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap up there just because I don't want to use an apple, because I'm gonna wrap up soon. That kind of sucks. I kind of wanted to do a few more neutral here, but we'll do that some next time. Next time we'll throw in some Luvia. We'll do Fujino again. Maybe a few other ones. That is gonna be hard at neutral though. Like he just a lot of health. That's a lot of health at neutral. I like these one quests though. These are a real. They can be a real test when you do them at neutral, and a few of them are good if you counterclass them. A few of them, and they're good if you counterclass them if you're a weaker unit, right? Like then it's fair. Like especially non-grailed 3 stars and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna use an apple and then instantly stop the stream like in 20 minutes, right? That's not worth it. So, all right. Well, that was fun. I think that was about in depth as we could have gone on King Protein Shake. So, although I think almost everyone missed that, but whatever. Let's see. We'll raid. Oh, Toho's he's streaming. We'll raid him. Alright boys, you have a good one. I'll probably stream tomorrow, and I might try to play that Tales of game just to check it out, just because I kind of want to see what's going on with it. No better experience like first-hand experience. Alright, have a good one everybody.